Philadelphia Phillies baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
The Phillies are always going green during the season, but today they are recycling the green uniforms for the spring training holiday tradition. The green will be all around the ballpark today in many shades, and the former Philly Irishman, who always embraced the day, is smiling once again. Become a spring training tradition around these parts. When it's St. Patrick's Day, the Phillies always seem to find their way back home, and they're home today at Bright House Field in front of a sold-out crowd as they welcome in the Toronto Blue Jays. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We hope everybody's enjoying themselves and they have a safe day. Obviously, this spring training, there's been some guys that have opened up some eyes. Charlie Manuel wasn't sure what his bullpen would look like once the spring training came to a close, but it's starting to come together a little bit.
I think it is, Tom. You're right. You know, depth is very important in your bullpen. Roles will develop as they go along. Everybody knows who the closer is going to be, but who's going to set up Jonathan Papelbon? Well, Chad Quall's a heck of a veteran pickup by Ruben Amaro Jr. This kid right here is a good-looking young pitcher, Jake Diekman. Probably will start in the minor leagues. Here's the guy we're just talking about, Papelbon. Watch him throw this splitter. He's a fastball, slider, 2 fastballs and a split. Michael Stutz did a good job last year and has come up with a really good hard-breaking ball this year. Look at the tumble on that thing. He has been very, very impressive in the couple of outings that Charlie Manuel has sent him out there. Now, we take a look at the bullpen candidates. And they're the guys, you look on the left, they're probably going to be on the club. You don't know until we get out of here. The guys on the right, well, maybe Jose Contreras is ready by then, but it's hard to tell. But the one guy you know is going to be there at the end of the game is Jonathan Papelbon, one of the premier closers in the league for a long time, and his manager talked about what kind of pitcher he is.
Genuine closer, like when you watch him, like I watch him on TV a lot, and when we play him interleague. And he goes out there, he's very intense. He he wants the ball, he wants to pitch every night, and he's very he's solid. He's proven, and it gives you a good feel, really. I mean, that's about as good as it can get.
Tom, when you see Charlie get a twinkle in his eye like that when he talks about a player, you know he really likes him.
Well, he also likes Vance Worley, who's going to be on the mound this afternoon for the Phillies, and Worley's had himself a pretty good spring so far.
Yeah, Vance Worley's a good-looking young pitcher, exploded on the scene last year, had his ups and downs, but this is a guy that can really compete and has a chance to be in the rotation, and they want him in the starting rotation. Struggled a little bit his first time out. Second time out, really got it together. 8 strikeouts in the game down at Bradenton. Well, Vance Worley last year, he pitched well. Then he had to go to the minor leagues, and he came back and pitched very well. And how about an evaluation of this kid from none other than Roy Halladay?
He learned a lot about himself. He came in, none of us really knew, much about him. And, first couple times out, he pitched well. But I think the hardest thing for a young player to do is to maintain that consistency. And he came up and did that very quickly and did it very well. Hopefully he learned that he can be successful, that he doesn't have to do anything special to go out and compete. And I think as a team and as teammates, we realize that this is a guy that can compete for us every 5 days and do a great job.
And for whatever reason, Tom, in this great game, the second year for a pitcher's year, you really find out about him, and here we go with Vance Worley.
Well, so far so good for Vance Worley, so he'll be out there this afternoon for the Phillies, and he'll be opposed for the Toronto Blue Jays by right-hander Brandon Morrow. Well, Irish eyes are smiling this afternoon here at Bright House Field, no doubt about that, and somewhere Tug McGraw's eyes are smiling as well. The lineups in first pitch when we return. Well, it's amazing all around the ballpark. Usually it's a sea of red. Today it's a sea of green. On St. Patrick's Day, the Phillies and their fans celebrate with a baseball game between the Phils and the Toronto Blue Jays. Gorgeous day today. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at second base, Kelly Johnson. Omar Vizquel, all 44 years young, at shortstop batting second. Edwin Encarnacion's at first base. He'll hit third. Colby Rasmus hits cleanup. J.P. Arencibi is the DH today, followed by Eric Thames, Ben Francisco, Jeff Mathis, and Brian Bocock. And they'll face Phillies right-hander Vance Worley, the 24-year-old. Boy, did he put together a heck of an outing his last time out.
Yeah, he was really good. Tom struck out 8 in the game down in Bradenton. Really got away from that changeup he tried to throw in the first game. See his stats right there with the 8 strikeouts, all coming in his last outing. First game here, he kind of struggled now.
Well, he's ready to go.
There's our scouting report on him. That fastball that he throws is his best pitch. It's a sinker that he tries to run at the left-hand hitters and come back, a comebacker against the right-handed batters.
Kelly Johnson will lead it off for the Blue Jays. Johnson 5 for 23 this spring, and quickly it's no balls and 1 strike. Johnson last year was acquired midway through the season from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Overall, he hit 21 home runs between Arizona and Toronto, but just 3 north of the border.
He was tearing it up with a long ball with the Diamondbacks, and not so much when he got to Toronto.
Fastball a little low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And that's a really good home run hitter's ballpark up there, the Rogers Center. It flies out of there.
Johnson began his big league career with the Atlanta Braves organization. 2 years ago, he hit 26 home runs for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Started out as an outfielder, and they made him into a second baseman. And we saw him playing left field in a few games when he first came up.
And he lines it to left field, so he's aboard to start the first. It's only the 6th hit of the spring for Kelly Johnson.
Phillies will be going up to Toronto to play the Blue Jays this year, right?
Correct. That is correct, Wheels. It's right after they play the Minnesota Twins in Minnesota.
Just want to make sure.
Here's Omar Vizquel, 44 years old, the owner of 2,841 career hits and 11 Gold Gloves.
What a player. Hard to believe he is still going to try and play another year.
Takes a strike and it's 0-1.
Never been a great hitter, but a good hitter, can work the ball. You know, he can hit the ball in the hole right now for them if they want to go that route.
A lot of folks wonder when his career is eventually over. Who knows when it's going to be over? How long it will be until he's in the Hall of Fame with those 2,800 hits and 11 Gold Gloves.
Yeah, because you think about Vizquel as more of a defensive player than offensive, but then you talk about 2,800 hits.
There's a foul ball down the right field line, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Playing to age 44 right now,
yep,
into his 45th year.
Home plate umpire this afternoon is Chad Whitson. Eric Cooper, Marty Foster, and Vic Carapazza, the other 3. They're in those spots that you see. Cooper's at first, Foster's at second, Carapazza is over third. 0-2 the count to Vizquel. That's the pitch that Worley wasn't getting in the first outing this spring. Take a look at some of the particulars on Omar Vizquel, a 3-time All-Star and a guy that Charlie Manuel loves.
Oh yeah, he had him in Cleveland. Really loves this guy.
Over to the right side, a base hit. Let's see what Kelly Johnson does. He stops at second as Pence got to it quickly. So runners on first and second with nobody out right out of the chute.
That was that comeback sinker that they go for a strikeout or an out. It ran, but it ran right over the middle of the plate, and Vizquel recognized it. Watch him. Carlos sets up in, and it just, for whatever reason, it didn't surprise him at all.
So nobody out, runners on first and second. Edwin Encarnacion, not a bad spring, 296 with 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in, swing and a miss.
I think watching that replay, Tom, is that he didn't start it at him as much as he normally does, and when he starts it at the left-hand hitters,
they give up on it.
They freeze.
Right.
Yeah. And that one there, it looked like he got too much of the plate right away.
How about Worley after his 8 strikeout performance in 4 innings the other day in Bradenton? Said it's too early to strike out a bunch of guys. I'd rather get contact because that helps you get deeper in games. probably would take a strikeout here unless he gets a ground ball from Edwin Encarnacion.
Encarnacion's going to have to take a little walk and beat that ball off. It sounded like his foot.
He's a third baseman by trade, Encarnacion. The Blue Jays got him from the Reds in the Scott Rowland deal. But this year, they didn't expect that he would play any third base. He may. Brett Laurie, their starting third baseman, came up with an injury yesterday. There's a check swing, slow roller, foul. It remains 0-2. So back to second goes Kelly Johnson. And back over to first is Omar Vizquel.
Wind today is blowing out to left center. They'll get a little help. And it's not one of those days here in this ballpark. You look at John Farrell, their manager, where, you know, the thing's just going to fly out of here if you hit it up in the air. You got to earn them a little bit.
Fastball fouled away. Yesterday, the Phil starter was Cliff Lee. Lee gave up a home run and a couple of runs in his outing. In fact, he gave up 3 runs in his outing. Charlie Manuel then watched as Kyle Kendrick came up with another strong out. I mean, strong out of the bullpen.
Good all year.
To the count, runners lead off. Breaking ball, swung on it, missed. Encarnacion looked rather awkward on that one.
He's always been a pull-off guy on breaking balls from right-handers. He's a bail and whale guy. Watch him open up real early. Even though he's using that open stance to prevent that, he goes right back to that front foot flying, and the hips follow, and so does the rest of your body.
So now Colby Rasmus with one away. Rasmus came over from the St. Louis Cardinals last year, combined to hit 14 home runs. They hope that Colby Rasmus will develop into the player that made him one of the top prospects in the Cardinals organization. He just didn't hit it off with Tony La Russa. Cardinals gave up on him, and they shipped him out to Toronto.
Yeah, everybody thought this guy was going to be a star. He winds up getting traded in the middle of a year that they win a World Series. Of course, I don't know. Phillies always gave their players rings. You know, after even though they went somewhere else, so what the Cardinals' policy would be, but the odds are he'll get a World Series ring.
I would agree with you on that. Rasmus last year with the Jays hit just 173. So far, he has 5 hits this spring. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Fly ball down the left field line. John Mayberry got a very good jump, so he's under it. The runners won't advance. 2 outs. That kind of fly ball gave us a look at the wind, and it really didn't have a whole lot of effect on it.
Oh, it's going to help a little bit, Tom, but it's not one of those days where those flags are standing straight out and you think it's a pitcher's nightmare. There it is with a Canadian flag up there also. What a gorgeous, what do we have there? 77 out on the scoreboard. They have 81, so either or, it is really nice.
There's J.P. Arancibia, the starting catcher during most days for the Toronto Blue Jays. Today he's the DH. Arancibia 5 for 22 this spring. 2 of his 5 hits home runs, and he also has driven in 7. Boy, it'd be nice if Worley can get out of this jam right here, because he allowed the first 2 hits, then got a strikeout of Encarnacion, and then Rasmus to fly out.
This young guy at home plate's a pretty good looking player. Of course, they have Darnell waiting in the wings
and coming up fast.
Yeah, who's in the Halliday deal.
That ball's hit to third. Easy play for Placido Polanco, and Worley does get out of the jam. So he allows the first 2 batters to get aboard, but then strikeout, fly out, and ground out. Middle of the first. It's the Blue Jays nothing, and the Phillies coming up. Nothing. Phillies coming up as we head to the bottom of the first here at Bright House Field. The regulars are tuning up for this afternoon's ball game. Let's take a look at the lineup for Charlie Manuel, brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Rollins, Polanco, and Victorino, followed by Hunter Pence, Ty Wigginton, and John Mayberry. Carlos Ruiz, Freddie Galvis, and Vance Worley. That's right, Worley will hit today. Jim Thome was in the original lineup, but Thome's playing first base on the backfield today, so they've changed that, and Worley will get a chance to bat for the first time.
And this is right about the time of spring training, too, where Charlie will start to bat the pitcher and get used to it, you know, unless they really want to go with an extra player for a DH. Here's Brandon Moore. This is a big-time arm right here. This guy struck over 200 hitters in the American League last year, and they think he has a chance to be a good one. Good spring so far. There's his fastball, 93 to 95. He's got everything. He was a first-round pick, and he has star potential.
27 years old, originally with the Seattle Mariners. And here's Jimmy Rollins, who shows bunt, takes outside. Brian Bocock was way back behind the third base bag. Now he creeps in. He's about a step back. But Jimmy has been doing that most of the spring, where he's been faking the bunt or laying it down.
Brian's a guy who was around here for a lot of years. Played in many, many, many exhibition games when you would start bringing the regulars out. There he is.
Got hurt last year and missed a lot of spring training. 2-0 the count to Rollins. And a strike at the knees, 2-1. Rollins, as you saw, 259 so far this spring. 7 for 27. It's that one deep down the right field line. Hooking. Oh, it's not going to hook. It's gone. A home run. It just stayed straight on with the line. And the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. No way to sneak that pitch by him.
No, and we talked about the wind blowing a little bit from right to left, and that's what brought it back. Tom said when that ball was hit, it had some hook to it, and you thought it had a chance to go foul, but the wind kept it fair for him. The fastball kind of ran over the middle of the plate. Has a lot of hook going down that line, but stays fair by, what, 5-10 feet?
Easy. That was a long home run, too. Up over the wall. Out in right field. 20-foot home run wall out there. Now Placido Polanco's had a good spring in limited action. He serves that one to right. That'll be his 9th hit of the spring.
He's swinging great this spring.
Sure is.
Just like he was last year before all those injuries got him in trouble. But he's hitting it hard everywhere. Right, up the middle, line drives to left. And, you know, that's Polanco. At this stage of his career, I don't think you're going to see as many doubles from him as you used to. He doesn't drive the ball in the alleys the way he did at one time. But he's still solid. That guy, he can drive it anywhere.
Jimmy has been very light this spring.
He's having fun.
Outgoing as usual.
He feels good.
And he feels great.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. He feels healthy.
Here's Victorino. 7 for 29 so far this spring. Polanco is looming just a little too far off that bag. Is he okay?
That's just what I was thinking too. Oh, man.
Looking at his hand.
Come on.
Let's take a look and see if he jammed it going back. That has to be what happened.
He went back kind of awkwardly.
Oh, look at that. Oh, boy. Scott Sheridan, the Phillies athletic trainer, trots out to check him out. Hopefully it just stung him for a little bit. Remember Chase Utley a couple of years ago against the Cincinnati Reds hurt his thumb sliding into second base, tore some ligaments in that thumb.
Talking about Polanco, how well everything's going for him. Grady's swinging the bat. Looks like his pinky finger. Here he goes. Shane fakes it. Now he got a big lead. He comes back in and reaches that outside hand to get the outside part of the bag to make sure he's safe. And it looked like he hit the pinky finger on the bag kind of awkwardly. He's still out there.
Good. So he's going to stay in the ball game. There's a look at that look. That's scary. Ryan Sandberg is there in the first base coach's box there for Sam Perlazzo this afternoon.
Always great to see Scott go trotting back to the dugout and the players stay out there.
1 ball, no strikes, the count to Victorino.
We'll give a report to Charlie Manuel now.
Victorino was originally penciled in as the 5-hole hitter, and then they switched it. They did that because Tomey was supposed to back cleanup in DH, but now Jim's back on the backfield taking some ground balls at first base in a minor league game. 1-2 the count.
This guy's really got a live arm.
He was the 5th pick, Brandon Morrow, in the 2006 amateur draft by the Seattle Mariners. Why they gave him up, I have no idea, because they're still, they've got some young pitching coming up, but this guy would have been pretty good next to Felix Hernandez and, at the time, Michael Pineda.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a whole lot of lineups looking forward to facing those three in the series.
Although Pineda now has a little competition over at Yankee camp. Andy Pettit signing a minor league contract.
About that. Some guys just can't stay away.
2-2 the count to Victorino, and a throw over to first. No swing. Some news around Major League Baseball. Here you see Andy Pettit came out of retirement, signed a $2.5 million minor league deal. Giancarlo Stanton, left wrist has improved. MRI and knee reveals inflammation. Well, he's too young to be nicked up as much as he's been nicked up.
About his new name,
Giancarlo. Right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
You think?
I think I don't know that it's Giancarlo, but it was a lot easier saying Mike.
Mike.
But that evidently is his given name, and Michael is also part of his name, and he has decided to go with the more Italian pronunciation, which we'll find out what it is.
3-2 the count to Victorino, and a called strike 3. First out of the inning.
They do not run. I guess they don't want Polanco, sliding head first again. That's a fastball right there, and Victorino certainly knew it.
So 1 away. Here's Hunter Pence.
That's the kind of pitch Shane usually really jumps on too.
Yeah.
Head in the count, a fastball middle in, batting left-handed, but he just didn't see it out of his hand. So I said, this guy has an explosive arm. He really can throw hard.
The ball's hit sharply towards second. It's going to wind up being an easy double play ball. 4-6-3. The side is retired. The Phillies, though, do get a run on the second spring training home run of the year for Jimmy Rollins. Pretty impressive stroke for Rollins. Then Polanco followed. And there's that Rollins home run. Tonight, see fast-paced National Lacrosse League action live on the Comcast Network as the Philadelphia Wings do battle with Eastern Division rival the Edmonton Rush. Rush at Wings tonight at 7, only on the Comcast Network. Philadelphia Wings been around for a long time. 1-0 Phillies, top of the second. Home run by Jimmy Rollins. It'll be Eric Thames, Ben Francisco, and Jeff Mathis for the Blue Jays against Vance Worley. And Worley delivers low, 1 ball and no strikes. Thames 320 so far this spring, picking up where he left off last year. At 12 home runs, 37 runs batted in. Looks like he'll be their left fielder this season. Jose Bautista should be their right fielder. And then Rajai Davis, Colby Rasmus, one of those guys is going to want to be in center fielder for the Blue Jays. Breaking ball lifted toward left center field. Mayberry on the run. It's over his head. A one hop off the wall, and Thames will pull in a second with a leadoff double. That is the 3rd hit of the day for the Blue Jays. Greg Murphy has been roaming around the ballpark with a special friend. Murph, what's going on?
T-Mac, you know, obviously a lot of folks in green today, but one in particular. Good to see the Philly Fanatic here. And you know what, guys, Fanatic, it's not like you sit around in the offseason, right? You're a busy guy, are you not? Very busy guy. And he actually took a trip this offseason to his native land, the Galapagos Islands. Pretty far trip, and I know we have some snapshots from that trip. You had a great time, I'm sure. Well, here's the catch, guys. This year, fans can go with them. You set sail on November 23rd, the Friday after Thanksgiving, and you head on out to the Galapagos Islands with this big guy and 2 of his closest friends as well. I know 2 of your closest friends are going out there. Folks will have a chance to hang out with the Fanatic, and really, it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip with the big guy, and you can get involved in it. Absolutely, fans all over the place, right? So all they got to do is go onto the website, take a look, and see what happens, and they can go along with you to the Galapagos Islands, guys. A trip of a lifetime.
See, Murph, we thought that was going to be a one-sided conversation, but you really got a lot out of the big guy.
He's a terrific interview. He always has been.
He really looks good with that seal, too.
Yeah.
Don't hurt yourself.
The seal makes him look better.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he did look good in those photos. You look very relaxed out there, Fanatic. Yeah.
Ben Francisco has the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You enjoy yourself, all right?
We'll hear more from the Fanatic as the day goes on, because we have a lot of things, promotional items the Fanatic is ready to unveil.
Murph has no idea what he has bought into dealing with that thing all year.
2-2 the count to Francisco. Ball in the dirt. Ruiz keeps it around the plate. 3-2.
Heard about the Galapagos Islands for so long, so it's kind of neat the Fanatic got to go home, huh?
Look pretty nice, too.
Yeah. South Pacific, right?
I believe that is correct.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Fly ball to left field. Not that deep. John Mayberry is there. Thames goes halfway. And 1 away.
No pitcher in their lineup. So, whether or not they won Ben to get him over or not, I don't know, but he didn't.
So Worley has the first out, and Jeff Mathis over from the LA Angels of Anaheim will be the hitter. How about Mathis spent 7 years with the Angels? You know what his lifetime batting average was? 194.
Well, he didn't play a lot, right? Well, he did for a while.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
yeah.
He did, yeah.
He and Mike Napoli kind of split the duties. Napoli now with the Rangers.
Well, Napoli's turned into a big-time hitter all of a sudden.
First pitch is on the inside corner for a strike.
Mathis,
0-1.
I think he's regarded as a real good defensive catcher, though, right?
I think so. Yep. There you see his career numbers. 194 with 26 home runs, 139 runs batted in. Mentioned the Blue Jays have J.P. Arancibia and Chase Darno waiting in the wings. John Farrell's team has really had a good spring. They've won 12 games. They're 12-2.
10 in a row.
One of the 2 losses, though, Phillies shut them out over in Dunedin. And they'll be back there tomorrow. 0-2 the count. Up high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Vance has thrown some more pitches this afternoon compared to his last outing, when he went 4 innings, did not allow a run. Struck out 8 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And a foul ball, and Mathis stays alive.
It's not real smooth sailing right now for Worley early in this one. You know, he's getting outs. He really showed something in that first inning, trying to do it again here after a leadoff double. But throwing a lot of pitches.
Worley won 11 games last year for the Phillies, threw 131 2/3 innings in the big leagues. Another foul ball, and it remains 2-2.
Well, breaking ball there. Shook Carlos Ruiz, and I guess he wanted to get to breaking ball.
He's at 34 pitches through the first 2 innings.
There's a lot of foul balls today. Many souvenirs for this huge crowd.
There's Rich Doobie. Ooh, awfully close. The crowd obviously wanted it. I think Worley and Ruiz wanted it. Carlos may have moved his glove just a little bit.
That's inside.
They just sailed at the last minute.
Yeah, they did a good job of staying away from him for the most part in this at bat, and then trying to sneak one by Mathis. Another one. And that's what's more than anything is running his pitch count up.
Well, this will be the 9th pitch of the at bat. Mathis, number 8 hitter Brian Bocock, waits on deck. And he got him right on the inside part of the plate. Went back to the same spot. This time a little closer toward the black. 2 outs.
And Worley gives Ruiz a little nod as they work together very well. Fastball. And it had that little tail to it, but normally when he throws that thing, he throws it away and it comes back on the outside corner. Normally he doesn't try to throw it down the middle like that and come in.
Here's Brian Bocock. Last year he played 81 games for Lehigh Valley. Fly ball left field. This is a towering fly ball. Mayberry is there, and Worley for the 2nd straight inning watches the leadoff batter get aboard, but then works around it. We've completed 1.5 here at Bright House Field, and the Phillies with a 1-run lead. And the Phillies will take on the Chicago Cubs beginning Friday, April 27th in a 4-game series. Monday the 30th is a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. The 29th, though, is the Citizen Bank Fanatic's birthday, and a free Fanatic Bank for fans 14 and under Get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. And folks, here it is. It's the bank. Wheels, what do you think?
I think it's pretty cool. Let's donate.
All right, here you go. Boy.
Put my 2 cents in.
All right. Pretty good.
It's
All
nice.
fans 14 and under.
On a home plate, huh?
Yep. Ty Wigginton will lead it off, and he takes inside. Well, Fanatic is obviously a favorite, so young fans are going to love this one. And in this economy, it's good to save.
Learn how to save your money at an early age. I know I did. My generation used to get your allowance, and you had to save some of them.
There you go, Wheels. You can keep the bank.
Your kids have to save?
They do, but they can also spend pretty well, too.
Oh, yeah.
There's a liner to left center field. Thames got a late start, but he's able to track it. So one gone here in the second.
Well, you know, our parents didn't have to worry about getting us iPhones and iPods and iPads and all that fancy stuff. The coolest thing I ever got were a pair of Chuck Taylor Converse sneakers. Long time ago. They were really neat. At least we thought they were about as cool as you could get.
Well, they're still cool.
Probably cost about $15.
What color did you get?
You know, it's funny. My buddies and I used to like those Boston Celtic low-cut black ones.
There's John Mayberry. Mayberry takes low. It's 1-0. You know, because now, Wheels, if you chose to purchase a pair of Chuck Taylors, you could probably get a pair that matched the golf shirt you're wearing.
Is that right?
Yes, you can.
I'd rather not.
That'd be great.
No, that would really be cool. No, they were pretty cool, those black ones.
Mayberry takes low and away, 2-0. That's what we should do, or that's what you should do. But we as a family should do.
What?
Sarge has his hats, and you should have your Chuck Taylors. Every day, wear a different pair of Chuck Taylors.
I'd love to wear sneakers every day. That'd be great.
2-0 the count to Mayberry, 7 for 34 this spring. And it's 2-1.
We are not allowed to wear them on the road. It's part of the club rules.
You're wearing them right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is spring training.
Yeah. Spring training for the Haberdasher.
Mm-hmm.
Pass one some well, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies lead at 1-0 thanks to a first inning home run by Jimmy Rollins. Blue Jays have a split squad today. They're also playing the Atlanta Braves. So that's why they have a couple of minor leaguers that have come with them over here to Bright House Field. John Farrell, though, their manager, is here, as is Brian Butterfield, their third base coach, and Torey Lovullo, their first base coach. Little chopper towards second. Kelly Johnson there. John Mayberry's retired for the second out. 2 outs here in the second. And here comes Carlos Ruiz. I think he gets the loudest round of applause now. I really do. I mean,
He gets that chooch.
well, and during lineups today, I mean, it was loud.
Well, he is, you know, from going out in the off season and being around the fans during the season, they love this guy.
Yeah.
And we do too. He's that kind of person. He's exactly what you see is what you get with it. With Carlos, he's a nice man, and has really developed into a heck of a major league player.
Well, I think that's part of it too. He's developed into a heck of a player. He's worked hard to become a very good catcher, and is working on his offense too.
Number one job for that position is handle the staff, and they love him. Now, of course, they like it when he knocks in runs for them too. But they want to go out there and not be shaking him off.
2-0 the count to Ruiz. And 3 balls and no strikes. What Carlos is doing now is what they hope Sebastian Baez will do in the next couple of years, that he'll develop into being a good receiver. He can already hit. And there's ball 4. It gets away from Mathis, not too far. And Carlos is aboard with 2 outs.
Yeah, Carlos Ruiz is a late bloomer to say the least, because he was a position player, an infielder, that they turned into a catcher. So you know his age is what, 32, but you know he doesn't have the wear and tear on him that a normal 32-year-old catcher would have, because he didn't catch all those years.
So 2 outs, runner at first. Here's Freddie Galvis, the number 8 hitter.
And Worley's on deck, and he can hit. Phillies have a pretty good hitting pitching staff.
Ruiz leads off first. Freddie has had himself a very good spring. He's 9 for 33, 273. He's played great defensively too. Shortstop and second base. Told me today that he's very comfortable over at second base. Swing and a miss. 0-2. His name has been a topic of conversation this spring, because when he was in the farm system, we always called him Galvis.
You know, an I in Spanish is an E.
Right. So
you know his name, the last name part of it is Vis.
So Freddie wants to be Galvis, with the emphasis on the Galvis.
The way he's playing, he can have it.
And he's down on strike, so the side is retired. Second strikeout for Brandon Morrow. Phillies lead 1. We play 2 here at Bright House Field. Phillies up by 1. Subscribe to MLB.tv Premium today. Get over 150 select spring training games with no blackouts and every regular season game live or on demand on your favorite devices. Visit Phillies.com for details. Well, we played 2 here in Clearwater. On to the 3rd. Phillies up 1-0. Mentioned the Blue Jays are 12-2 this spring. Phillies, meanwhile, 6-8-2. Their second tie came down in Port Charlotte the other day. And the Phillies had a 4-1 lead, but as Wheels mentioned, Pete Mackanin and Rich Doobie couldn't hold that lead.
Twice. I mean, didn't they have a 6-5 lead too?
I believe they did.
Well, come on.
By the way, Michael Martinez is coming to play third base for Placido Polanco. So Polanco, who dove back to first after singling in his initial at bat, looked like he was in a lot of pain, and I guess they're going to check him out. Top of the order, Kelly Johnson leads it off. Johnson rolls it to short. Should be an easy play for Rollins, and it is. 1 pitch, 1 set aside here in the 3rd. Well, let us hope that it's just a precaution for Placido Polanco.
Oh yeah. Just and then finish talking about how well he's swinging the bat, and he can get hard to all fields and is healthy. He can get hurt in a lot of ways in this game. Weird ways like that. Just come back a little awkward. He came back to the bag and then reached with the other hand to keep the tag away from him.
Vizquel singled his first time up, takes low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Absolute magician with a glove.
Well, to win 11 Gold Gloves at shortstop, that tells you an awful lot. Here's a guy that idolized Omar Vizquel growing up, making the play, and there are 2 outs.
Oh yeah, you grew up in Venezuela. I mean, Omar Vizquel was a national hero.
Well, here's Placido Polanco, where he may have banged his finger up.
Watch, he's trying to go back in with his right hand, but then he sees the tag coming, so he decides I better go with the hand on the outside, and then looked like he hit his little finger, pinky.
Encarnacion takes a breaking ball, no balls and 1 strike. He struck out his first time up, big out in that first inning because Worley had allowed the first 2 batters to get aboard.
Vance trying for a little quicker, and he got Brian Bocock to end the second on 1 pitch, and 2 up and 2 down here. That way they could keep him out there for 5 innings. He's throwing everything today. His fastball, slider, a little, mixing in kind of a curveball once in a while, occasional changeup. I don't know if he's throwing that split finger changeup that he wanted to.
He didn't throw it a lot the other day in Pittsburgh, in Bradenton.
There's a good breaking ball there. Yeah, he got away from it.
One and 2 the count, and the pitch. Ground ball foul.
What? Don't you love it when guys let their hair grow long, like over their ears and stuff? I like that look. Thank you.
Two balls, 2 strikes the count to Encarnacion. He's trying to get that inside part of the plate. It doesn't matter who the hitter is, he's trying to get it there.
Sometimes they're trying to work a different area for strikes, as opposed to him, getting in that pattern where he goes away to the right-handed batter and brings it back.
Swing and a miss. He got him. 50th pitch of the outing for Vance Worley, and he picks up his 3rd strikeout of the day. The Phillies going green this afternoon. That's the way the clubhouse looked prior to the start of the ball game. Pretty sharp stuff. We'll tell you more about that when we get back. By Acura. Acura, Advance, and by Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. Well, on the other side of the fence, there you can see, I don't know if you can see it there, but there's Jim Thome playing first base in a minor league game. I guess they're playing the Yankees, one of the Yankee minor league teams.
Yeah, it looks like they're Yankee.
Still chatty. Talking to some of the young minor leaguers. And Swarley leads it off and fouls it back. That was a great shot.
Everything's so convenient now after this beautiful ballpark opened in '04 with the Carpenter, Paul Owens Carpenter complex over there. Now everything is nearby. Jack Russell was really a neat spot for a lot of years. This place is special.
Just for the sheer convenience of things.
Oh, yeah, and it's so nice.
Outside, 2-1.
A lot of Tug McGraw memories from Jack Russell Stadium and St. Patrick's Day. Tug always wanted to pitch on St. Patrick's Day because he told his manager he would not be available the next day. So he almost always pitched on St. Patrick's Day, and then he definitely had the day off on the 18th. He had to.
Well, the Phillies are wearing the green uniform tops today and the green caps. Tug tried to do that in a game back in, I guess, the early 80s. The Cincinnati Reds are credited to being the first team to wear green on St. Patrick's Day. They did it in 1978, but Larry Shank, longtime Phillies PR person, gave Matt Gelb of the Philadelphia Inquirer an article from the Inquirer from 113 years ago. And the article says on St. Patrick's Day, the Phillies came out wearing green. So if you go to Philly.com, Matt Gelb's blog has the article.
What year is that? 113 years ago, without having to do the arithmetic. Well, there he is. I tell you, Tom, I can't help but think of him on St. Patrick's Day. You talk about a leprechaun, and he loved it. Just couldn't wait to pitch on St. Patrick's Day and then get it going.
2 saves in that '80 World Series, including the last out against Willie Wilson. By the way, Wheels, March 17th, 1899. A story from the Inquirer that details new sweaters trimmed with green. Phillies played 2 games that day, just so you know, Wheels. Fitting commemoration of the day, the Phillies burst upon the startled natives this morning in their new sweaters trimmed with green.
Sweaters. How about that verbiage? Is that great?
The collar is of a hue like of which has never been seen this side of Ireland. And then to accentuate it, there is a band of green running all the way around. Some wordsmiths right there.
Yeah. Different language.
2-1 the count to Rollins. All hands had breakfasted by 8 o'clock, and at 9:30 were on their way to the ground. Isn't that great?
It is. I mean, just the language is so good.
Rollins fouls it away. It's 2-2. By the way, Placido Polanco is getting his left ring finger.
Ring finger. Yeah, look, we thought it may have been his pinky finger. It turned out to be his ring finger.
To the count to Rollins. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Morris throwing a lot of pitches too. Worked behind him. He went to 3-2 and Worley before finally getting him to chase ball 4.
Rollins rolls it to second to his left. Kelly Johnson for the second out. So 4-3 on the putout. And Michael Martinez will hit for the first time. Martinez has had a quiet spring, partly because he's been nicked up a little bit. But Freddie Galvis has gotten a lot more of the action over at second base than Michael. Does have a home run. And there's strike 1, a switch hitter. He was picked up last year in the Rule 5 draft, spent the entire year with the Phillies. One ball, 1 strike, the count. 2-2 the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Brandon Morrow, the starting pitcher for the Blue Jays. And Martinez fights it off, and it's out of play. Little looper to left field. That may drop. Thames coming on. He dives and he picks it up on a short hop. So Martinez has a base hit. The Phillies inning is still alive here in the third. And Shane Victorino will be the hitter.
It gets jammed on this. Thames makes a good effort at this and just can't quite get it, and then it goes in the pocket of the glove. Thankfully for him that it didn't bounce behind him and put him in scoring position with 2 outs.
Shane went down looking his first time up, so he's 0 for 1.
Check those sunglasses on a day like this.
Yesterday was that kind of day in Bradenton. You know, the Bradenton ballpark is wide open, and it was bright sunshine. Ball was jumping out of the ballpark too. It's been kind of been that way the last few days here in Florida, or for the last few weeks.
Well, the weather conditions have been ideal. You know, the teams are not missing any days, being able to get their work in. Been like this 2 years in a row now. Last year was just like this. Every day was almost perfect. Rained the last day when we were leaving town.
Right. Phillies this year will finish up spring training up in Orlando.
We're going to fly out of Orlando.
You going to go to the park before you fly out?
2 weeks from tomorrow. No. We're not televising that day.
No, I'm saying, are you going to go to Disney?
No, but thanks. You can take the girls up there. Well, I just got you in trouble. Huh?
You may have.
Sorry. Girls, we got other plans for you.
Outside 2-1.
Big time stuff. You'll love it. Maybe you'll see winter. You know, there's all kinds of neat things.
Winter the Dolphin is on display here from the movie A Dolphin's Tale. It's on display down at the Clearwater Aquarium.
Right, where they made that movie.
Breaking ball way inside. 3-1 now to Victorino. Victorino now 7 for 30 this spring. There's Hunter Pence, waits on deck. Oh, they've got Martinez, and he did the right thing. He just took off the second base. I think he surprised Edwin Encarnacion.
Encarnacion was turning around to tag him.
Absolutely. So a stolen base.
Encarnacion is not an experienced first baseman. He's a third baseman. And watch what happens when the throw comes down.
Well, he's turning his body already.
Yeah, he's turned. He doesn't know where he is. So look, he turns. He's going to tag him, and then all of a sudden, someone must be yelling, "Second, second."
Well, he wouldn't have gotten him anyway. I mean, Martinez broke pretty good after being frozen. Victorino rolls over on it to second base, and Kelly Johnson will take care of him. Phillies get a base runner in scoring position, but they do not score. We're through our first 3 here on St. Patrick's Day. It's a beautiful day here in Clearwater. Speaking of Dolphin Tale and Winter the Dolphin, the Fanatic also was a tourist and went over to the aquarium to take a look. Monday, May 14th at 7:05, the Phillies will take on the Houston Astros. It's Teva Respiratory Asthma Awareness Night. A free Phillies Liberty Bell cap for all fans. Then Tuesday the 15th, it's a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. And a Model Sporting Goods senior stroll the bases for fans 55 and over. Tickets are going quickly. Go to Phillies.com. Now, we just saw the cap and the Mother's Day scarf that the Phillies are going to be giving off and giving out. And the T-shirt, the Represent T-shirt that young lady is wearing down the right field line. There's the scarf. That is a beauty.
Yeah, that scarf looks pretty nice and feels pretty good.
We begin the top of the fourth. Colby Rasmus will lead it off. Rasmus flying out to left.
Might be able to hook you up with a couple of those, Tom.
Scarves?
Yeah, goes with anything. Okay? With everything.
There's a fly ball to shallow center. Victorino started back. Now he's coming in, and he gets there.
That's when the outfielder is able to make a mistake, and because of the speed, be able to overcome that mistake. Can't teach speed, just gotta have it. You check out Victorino and take a look at him as that ball is hit. Kind of takes a couple steps back, then realizes with that wind he's got to really come in, but he runs right on the balls of his feet where that ball doesn't bounce on him at all.
There's Arancibia. And he takes a strike. I've heard coaches say to kids, and I don't know if this is right or not because I never played the outfield, take a step back to then come in. You know, it's easier to come in than it is to go back. Is that true when trying to learn the game of the outfield?
I wouldn't really do it that way, only because line drives that are hit, low ones, that first step has to be in. Why do you want to go back? You're reading the ball. You don't want to go back on anything unless the ball is hit where you got to go back. Go from side to side and then also in.
Souvenir for the folks in the picnic area. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's what happens with a lot of amateur coaches. They start making up things to make sure that they have something to say about the game.
All right, I didn't mean that. Sorry.
Well, I'm just saying that, sometimes they'll come up with some different things for guys to do at the plate, for instance.
Pretty nice pitch that just missed. It's 2-2.
No, but the rule of thumb, though, when you're playing that outfield, we've always thought, and Mays used to teach that, is that he'd like for the fielders to have a little bit of movement, kind of a little bit of flex. But to be quite honest, a lot of times the veteran players, especially in spring training, they'll just kind of go through what they need to kind of get by. I mean, they're not going through everything they will during the course of the season.
3-2 the count to Arancibia. And a foul ball. It remains 3-2. Well, prior to our telecast on Monday, you're going to have a chance to sit down with Juan Samuel and some of the players, just talk about outfield play.
Yep.
That's right up your alley.
Well, I tell you what, too, it's so important because you really want guys to understand, cutting off the balls, being able to catch the ball is just one less out a pitcher has to get.
Nice stop by Michael Martinez. Good job by Wigginton to complete the play. And there are 2 outs here in the 4th. Well, and Sammy gives you a good perspective too. Infielder turned into an outfielder, but he's handling the outfield.
Good athlete, and really all of them have something to say about it. And the biggest thing is really having balance, both in the infield and also in the outfield. Certain ways, and we'll get into it, on how you're supposed to run when you're in the outfield to make sure that ball doesn't bounce on you. And a lot of times younger players have a tendency to do just that.
Michael Martinez decided that there was no way he was going to get Eric Thames, so he was hoping that ball would roll foul. Turns out to be a bunt single, so Thames is 2 for 2. Here comes Ben Francisco. Did you talk to Benny today?
I didn't have a chance to talk to Benny. Got to miss him a lot. Can't help to not think about when he kind of threw himself up on the right field wall as if he was Spider-Man. He's a great guy, though. He really is.
Phillies traded him over to Toronto this offseason. 3 years at the Phillies. He had .259. He had a great spring last year. See his numbers overall in 2011, .244, 6 home runs. He really kept the Phil's hopes alive in that postseason with that home run, that pinch hit home run against the Cardinals in St. Louis. Easy hop for Martinez. Easy play for the Phillies. So Vance Worley is through 4 scoreless innings for Worley this afternoon. Well, even winner the Dolphin is getting into the activities here on St. Patrick's Day with a little help from her friends. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. And by Honda, the really big sales event, real deals, big inventory, now at your Honda dealer. Bullpen action for both teams as we get set to begin the bottom of the 4th. Jonathan Papelbon is warming for the Phillies. And Luis Perez, the lefty, is warming for the Toronto Blue Jays. Brandon Morrow is about to begin his 4th inning of work. And he'll face Hunter Pence, Ty Wigginton, and John Mayberry.
Always seems to have a healthy cut. Looks first pitch fastball and lets it go. I think once he gets to be a little bit more disciplined and they throw the breaking ball or off speed, that's the one he wants to lay off of early in the count.
Well, there he gets a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Can you change somebody, though? You know, look at first pitch swings last year, 344. I mean, you don't want to take that away from him.
You want him to be aggressive, but you want him to be aggressive on that pitch that he swings at, which is that fastball.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Morrow has allowed 3 hits so far.
The off-speed pitch that's hanging or up in the zone, that's the one that he's usually tattoos. The one that breaks down like that one is the one you don't want to swing at when you don't have any strikes on you.
And a called strike 3. Hunter got called out on a pitch yesterday that he was not happy about, and I think he thought that one was ball 4. You guys decide.
Well,
Tell us what you think, Sarge.
Oh, that's a strike.
Yeah,
that ball there, a pitcher's pitch there, outside part of the plate. I thought it was plenty high enough, and I thought it caught plenty of the plate.
Ty Wigginton is the batter. Wigginton fly to left his first time up, and he loops one to center field, and that'll drop in for a hit. After the Phils game, stay tuned for a look back at the 2011 season. Watch Making History, the 2011 Phillies video yearbook, narrated, of course, by Cliff Lee, coming up after the Phillies game right here on the Comcast Network. Did you get your copy of that yet?
No, I sure haven't. Some of the things I don't always really end up getting is sometimes I look forward for you maybe bringing in a couple of those things. Maybe like one of those
well, you're in Chicago
green,
when I got it.
Green uniforms. How do you like those green uniforms there for St. Patty's Day that the guys are wearing.
I like the fact that they're wearing a uniform top and not just a hat, as Mayberry fouls it away. You know, the hat, all around baseball teams are wearing the hat. Well, I think go all out. Put the jersey on.
Well, then that means then you got to go in and change your shoes, because now you got red shoes or maroon shoes some guys are wearing. Some guys have a white and red shoes like Carlos Ruiz. So I think the main thing is just having the top.
0-1 the count. 0-2 the count. No, I'm good with the red pants. I'm just saying, if you're going to do it, wear the jersey. I like the jersey and the hat. I mean, go all in. Joel Pinheiro sporting that cap. See, now when he was with the Cardinals or the Angels, they probably just wore the cap. When you were with the Giants, well, I don't even know if you wore a cap.
Well, no, we got the caps. That's exactly what we wore.
Off the end of the bat, that'll be another base hit. Wigginton will stop at second. Well, Frank Kopenbarger, the Phillies traveling secretary, director of clubhouse operations, he puts all this together, and rightfully so. It looks sharp. See that? St. Patrick's Day 2012 on the cat. John Mayberry has a base hit. Runners on first and second, one out. I think John Farrell maybe making a pitching change. He's out to the mound. Luis Perez was warming up, and that's going to be it for Brandon Morrow. So he's reached his pitch count here in the fourth inning. So Perez will come in, a left-hander, to face Carlos Ruiz. We've got a pitching change here at Bright House Field. It fills up by 1.
The crowds are getting
Attention high school sophomores and juniors. Tell us how you're having an impact on the community through service. You must have a 3.0 GPA or equivalent. It's all part of the Phillies Extraordinary Scholar of the Month. It's presented by Verizon Wireless and Cabrini College. Now, the deadline to submit your application is March 23rd. Visit phillies.com/scholar for more details. Brendan Morrow's afternoon is done. Sarge, what'd you think?
I thought he threw the ball really well, up and down in the zone. This guy can strike you out. He did that last year, striking out quite a few batters. Then he's only going to get better. 27 years old there. You like the movement more so, though. He's getting where he is going to probably be their number 2 guy. They're going to count on him. And you look forward for this guy here to start doing some things now at the age of 27.
Well, they got a good outing yesterday from Kyle Drabeck, the former Phillies prospect. Now, he's not scheduled to be in the rotation this year. He's scheduled to be down in the minor leagues, but that was a good sign for them, too. As Carlos Ruiz takes low from Luis Perez. Perez, 4 games so far this spring. 6 innings, 1 hit, 7 strikeouts. Carlos walked his only time up. 2 balls and no strikes. Blue Jays have kind of revamped their bullpen. They've picked up Sergio Santos from the White Sox. He'll be their closer. And Francisco Cordero from the Reds, he'll be their setup guy. A lot of people were surprised that Cordero went there to be the setup man. As Ruiz takes a strike. But one of the brightest parts of this Blue Jays team is probably their bullpen this year.
Well, you get to the end and you have a lead. You like guys that have been there. You like guys that you can count on to get some of the batters out.
It's their numbers from a year ago. 9th in the American League in earned run average among bullpen guys. 3-1 the count to Ruiz.
And that's where you win and lose a lot of ball games, and then especially 7th and 8th inning, not able to get to your closer there at times. Well, you get guys throwing strong in the 7th and 8th inning, takes just a lot of pressure off of the whole pitching staff. Starters don't have to think about going 7 or 8.
Swing and a miss. 3-2 the count to Ruiz with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Well, the Blue Jays, who finished at 500 last year, will have to contend with the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Rays. And I guess you could throw the Orioles in there, although I think the Orioles will have the most trouble out of anybody. Runner goes from second, a roller toward third. Bocock will go to second for 1 and to first around the horn. A 5-4-3 double play. Wigginton took off, Mayberry didn't, and the Jays were able to turn the double play. And the Phillies' 4th inning is in the books. We go to the 5th here at Bright House Field. Back here at Bright House Field, 1-0. Phillies on top of the Blue Jays. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Vance Worley's afternoon is complete. He went 4 innings, struck out 3, allowed 4 hits, did not allow a run. Now he'll give way to Jonathan Papelbon, throwing here in the 5th inning, which has become the norm here in spring training for Jonathan as he works his way into the closer's role. And he'll pitch the 9th inning, obviously, once the season rolls around, but just making sure he gets in there in a ball game against major league hitters. That's the key.
That's what you want to do. Really impressed with Vance Worley. That slow breaking ball he seemed to come up with, getting some of those hitters off of that pitch. He continues to throw strikes, early strikes, and you can tell the confidence in Worley just out on the mound, the way that his whole demeanor is out there and pitching. That's good to see, and good to see from a young pitcher.
I totally agree with that. You know, the one thing that really stood out and has stood out about Worley since he arrived is the confidence.
Yep.
I mean, he just is able to brush things off. He's determined, and he's a great guy to have around. Jeff Mathis will lead off the 5th for the Blue Jays. Be Mathis, Bocock, and then the top of the order against Jonathan Papelbon. Papelbon delivers a strike, and it's 0-1. Mathis struck out looking his first time up, but it was a battle. In fact, it was a 9-pitch at bat against Vance Worley, who threw 62 pitches today. Popped up. Shallow right field. Pence, well, that ball really carried up there. Pence will make the catch. One away. So Papelbon gets the first out. He'll face Brian Bocock here. Jonathan Papelbon, who spent the first part of his career in Boston, now slides down to Philadelphia. And the guys in the clubhouse already love him. I mean, he's a character all by himself. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Speaking of Jonathan Papelbon, Murph.
That's right, guys. Not only do the guys in the clubhouse love him, but the fans do as well. Jonathan Papelbon, certainly a nice addition to this Phillies team. Welcome in Timmy and Brett, if you would. They're modeling the IBEW Local 98 Jonathan Papelbon t-shirt. Brett, if I can get you to turn around, we'll take a look at the back. This is your giveaway on Sunday, June 24th. We're at Citizens Bank Park. They're all looking good. Very patriotic. Jonathan Papelbon wearing number 8. Timmy and Brett, great job in your modeling debut. Guys, June 24th for the Jonathan Papelbon t-shirt.
All right, Murph, thank you. You know, the folks at IBEW Local 98 have been great to the Phillies organization. You know, they'll be sponsoring the Jim Thome print as well for the on-deck series against the Pirates, but that's a good one. All part of the promotional items that the Phillies will be giving out this year. We'll have some more as we move on today. We showed you the bank a little while ago. And you can always go to Phillies.com to check out more of the items for the upcoming season.
The Phillies usually have pretty good items throughout the whole year. Different variety, just about for every single person.
Pop foul. I know when I was a kid, the jacket. I remember getting the windbreaker. That was my favorite item. We always made sure that we would find the day that the windbreaker was given out.
Yeah, I always liked the baseball bat. That's the one that I cared for all the time.
There was a time when I was a kid where they weren't giving those out.
Well, they gave them out there at Dodger Stadium. Let me tell you.
0-2 the count to Brian Bocock. Swing and a miss. He got him. Pretty good sink on that pitch. And there are 2 outs here in the 5th. Well, the Fanatic was busy this morning. These are some of the items that will be given out. There's the bank that we've been talking about over and over again, and the commemorative ball. It's the Charlie Manuel bank that will be given out. And there's the Fanatic Bank, which we showed before. That'll be part of the giveaway sponsored by Citizens Bank during the Fanatic's birthday celebration for fans 14 and under, and the Mother's Day scarf that we showed you earlier. Here's Kelly Johnson. He lines the first pitch to center. Pretty well hit. Victorino won't get there. It's over his head. One hop off the wall. Johnson has his second hit of the day.
Well, every time we see this Johnson, he seems to be hitting us hard and harder. He played with the Braves. He ended up getting hits all the time. He just couldn't catch a ball, which is problem at second base as he drives this ball there. This guy's a good hitter. See the movement on the ball as it was actually kind of going away from him. He went right with it.
Well, he's in scoring position with 2 outs. Here's Omar Vizquel. Omar Vizquel, 44 years old. Jamie Moyer nearing 50 years old, pitching for the Rockies. And Andy Pettitte announced his comeback, and he'll join the Yankees in a minor league deal. Be 40 years old this year.
Vizquel, with all the gold gloves, for me, is a Hall of Famer. I think he has 11. Ozzie Smith had how many, Tom?
That's an excellent question, Sergeant. I should know that.
Yeah, you should. But
13.
Boy, oh boy, did somebody tell you
that? They did not.
Huh?
It just came to me out of the
I am impressed.
Is it 13?
Yes, it is. It's 13. But, you know, and I'm saying that, too, because Ozzie's kind of changed it. I thought that Brooks Robinson more or less got in because of the way he played during the World Series, and also obviously a defensive player. Ozzie, a true defensive player, along with Vizquel. So if that's the case, yeah, he would be a Hall of Famer.
I would agree with you on that.
271, 272 lifetime average.
He may not reach 3,000 hits, but 2,841, not too shabby.
Well, he'd have to play another year or so to,
maybe even more, yeah.
To get to 3,000. That's just a lot of hits.
On ball, no strikes, the count to Vizquel. There's a strike at the knees. Well, Bill Mazeroski was selected by the Veterans Committee, and it was more because of his defense than anything else. Phil Rizzuto kind of the same way, plus his kinship with Ted Williams, who was part of that committee. So I agree with you. I think Vizquel belongs in. Down and away, 2-1 the count to Omar Vizquel.
It's a lot of years to be playing Major League Baseball. And not only that, though, this guy's been making some pretty good plays. If you ask some of their coaches around him, he's just not there just to be there. He's making really good plays, and one of the reasons he's still around. He's still good defensively.
A little cue shot over the glove of Papelbon. I don't think they're going to get him. Rollins won't make a throw. Vizquel is aboard for the second time today. So runners on first and third. And there was nothing at all anyone could do on that.
Almost a swinging bunt. Looks like he still has pretty good legs. Have longevity. That's what you got to have in the major leagues. You got to have your legs. Don't think Vizquel has had any serious injuries to his legs. One of the reasons he's still able to play.
Here's Encarnacion. He's 0 for 2. Down low, 1 ball, no strikes.
Encarnacion is in great shape this year.
Where are they going to put him? DH?
Look at DH. Play a little bit of third. He's been had problems with that left wrist in the last couple of years.
Runner broke from first and then stopped, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
He can stay healthy. I mean, he'll be fine. He'll be able to put up numbers.
Philippe Almont is up and throwing in the bullpen for the Phillies. One ball, 1 strike to count. Ooh.
The one pitch that you don't get in the major leagues consistently, and that is the inside part of the plate.
He caught it off the plate, but it really looked like it cut over the plate.
Could have been called a strike very easily. No problem on that. He wouldn't have even argued on it, I bet.
That's up and in, 3-1.
Papelbon has not been giving in to any of the hitters. Let's see what he does on this 3-1 pitch. Usually has pretty good control.
There goes the runner from first, and the pitch is fouled away, so it's 3-2. Vizquel decided to go with the count 3-1. Phillies are on top 1-0 thanks to a first inning home run by Jimmy Rollins. The active leader, or one of the active leaders in leadoff home runs, he and Alfonso Soriano, who doesn't lead off anymore. Popped up right around second base. Rollins didn't see it, so Galvis is there to make the catch. The side is retired, so Papelbon allows a couple base runners, but works out of it here in the 5th. 4.5 in the books. The Phillies riding a Jimmy Rollins home run to the lead. tickets for 2012 Phillies games are available for most every game. Plan to catch some opening week games, including Thursday the 12th when the Marlins come to town. It's a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. Smiley will be in the yard. Friday the 13th at 7:05, the Phillies kick off a series against the New York Mets. It's the first weekend of the season. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets for those 2 ball games and for every other game that's available for the 2012 season. Speaking of the Mets, man's out of place wearing that New York Mets jersey. For so many reasons. First of all, it's St. Patrick's Day. Second of all, he's in the wrong ballpark. Freddie Galvis will take a hack at the first pitch. And he flies it into center field. Colby Rasmus there. 1 away.
Your attention, please. Now on the pinch hit for the Phillies, number 31, Eric Kratz.
So Luis Perez, who came out to get the final out in the 4th, gets the first out here in the 5th. And Eric Kratz will pinch hit for Jonathan Papelbon. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. It'll be Kratz in the top of the order. For 11 so far this spring.
Kratz will be one of those catchers, I'm sure, that will be sent down. Phillies usually don't take 3 catchers. Ruiz will be the number 1, and Snyder, you would think, would be the number 2 catcher.
Kratz rips it to left field, and Thames, well, that ate him up. And Kratz with his 4th hit of the spring.
Yeah, he's lucky that ball. He kept it in front of him. Ball bouncing off of his knee, it looked like, or leg. There's that sinking line drive that left fielders get. That is one of the toughest plays because you don't know whether or not to come in at it or to back up on it. Obviously, that's one of the ones maybe you should have backed up on it, but it did have that hard sink on it. If you read it right, you may have a chance to catch it. Depends on score of the game and what chance you'd like to take to catch that ball.
And who the batter is, too.
Well, all that plays a big part into it.
I say that because if he doesn't run that well, then maybe he can take a chance and he won't get a triple, but he can get a double.
That's a good point.
Rollins lifts it in the air to shallow right. Francisco comes in. 2 outs. And Michael Martinez will bat for the 2nd time.
Any other further news there on Polanco?
No, the last we heard is that he was going to get the left ring finger checked out, and that was it. Why'd you come up with something?
No. I mean, anytime. I mean, obviously, when you go back into that bag and you're going in with your hand, there's always a chance that is going to happen. That's why a lot of times they're always told go back in feet first. But on this level, you're able to go in the way that you would want. And just look like, I mean, really, I mean, got under the tag, but anytime you go back, any of your fingers, you can do damage. You just hate that because he's just seeing and hitting the ball so well.
Absolutely.
Now here he is as he dives back in the first. You see that now he's holding the gloves, where usually you keep that on there, and already you can see how he was kind of grimacing on that.
Yeah, and they hold the gloves. Players hold the gloves because they don't want their fingers to be exposed.
Exactly.
Something must have happened, though, to expose the finger for Polanco. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Martinez with a runner at first. Swing and a miss. Mathis dug it out of the dirt. A strikeout for Perez. The Phillies lead 1. We have completed 5 here at Bright House Field. Not a whole lot of offense this afternoon, but some pretty good pitching. is St. Patrick's Day, obviously, and the Fanatic, even on St. Patrick's Day in spring training, can get the umpires involved. Fans' reaction when the Fanatic came out of the dugout to perform was one of the loudest of the day. Also having fun today is Greg Murphy. He's gotten a chance to see a lot of the different items that will be given out this year, and we'll throw it to Greg for another item. Go ahead, Greg.
All right, T-Mac. Yeah, coming up on June 4th, it's the Toyota bobble figurine of Cliff Lee. And I have it here in my hands, but I'm not going to take a look at it and tell you what you think. I grabbed this guy to take a look at it. What do you think, Cliff? Pretty good likeness, I would say, huh?
Yeah, that's the best one I've seen of myself, for sure. I like it. Not bad.
In full action, of course, the number 33 on the back, and this is available to all fans who come out on June the 4th, and I guess we'll give the first one to Cliff, right?
Yeah, I'll take it.
There you go.
Thank you.
First one, Cliff Lee, checking it out. He likes it. If you like it, come on out on June the 4th, right?
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Sarge, you ever have a bobblehead of yourself?
You know what? No, I haven't.
Ever?
No, I haven't at all.
Wait a minute. As a player, you never had
I'm almost positive that I have not. And if we did them, the head wasn't moving back then when they did that.
Oh, it was just a statue.
Yeah.
Was it an action figure?
Yes. But I didn't, I don't think they had those, back there, in the day there. And they are doing some replicas of the different players from Mays and so on that they have now. But I'd have to talk to a few people around here just to get that out.
That'd be great to get a figurine of you as a player.
Wiggling the bat?
With the bat moving up and down, the helmet flying off.
Oh, boy, that would be something. Yeah, but...
the hair?
Oh, no, let's not go there. Yeah, let's keep that hair out of there, because that way you'd have to have that Jerry curl juice on my shirt or uniform. I wouldn't want that.
Philippe Almont is the new pitcher for the Phils as we start the top of the 6th. Well, we want to make sure that the likeness is correct, Sarge.
Yeah, well, that would be for sure.
Colby Rasmus leads it off for the Blue Jays. It's 1-0 Phillies here in the top of the 6th. And a fastball for a strike, and it's 1-1. No radar gun. However, you can hear the pop of the glove with Philippe Almont because he's in the mid-90s.
Yeah, it's simple. If he can throw strikes, he'd have a great chance at making this team, and he may anyway. And that is also being able to control the off-speed pitches.
Ground ball foul, going to the count. Nice play by Aaron Sebia in the on-deck circle.
And Charlie, manual manager has to be able to trust you in situations that you can come in and throw strikes. Yeah, it's an added plus if you're a hard thrower. And obviously he is. But the next thing is now that control and where you're throwing your pitches.
Two balls, 2 strikes the count to Rasmus. Up high, 3-2.
Those last 2 pitches out of the zone and not even giving the hitter anything to be able to offer at. Those are the things I'm talking about, and being able to have a little bit better control of your pitches. It just makes it easier for the fielders and obviously easy for yourself, the pitcher.
Try to check, no appeal. Rasmus walks to begin the 6th. Phillies let go of one of their pitchers the other day. Dontrell Willis was released. In fact, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
He arrived in Bradenton, and the announcement was made by Ruben Amaro. And Ruben essentially said, in a perfect world, it would be great to have 2 or 3 left-handers. But in a more perfect world, it would be great to have guys who are getting people out. And Dontrell just really struggled this spring. Not only was he banged up a little bit, but he just struggled with his command. Here's JP Arancibia as Rasmus goes. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw to second, not in time. Pretty quick release by Ruiz, but I don't think he had a chance to get Colby Rasmus.
That was an excellent job. Great job. You can always tell that because Carlos is going to be right around the plate. Look at it. It's almost already there as he goes into the slide. Little pop-up slide.
Breaking ball a little high, and it's 1-1. I think we've seen that Ahmad is getting there. I think that's the right way to assess him. He's getting there.
And the next thing will come was the confidence. Confidence has a lot to do with major league players staying in the major leagues.
That line drive just past Galvis and into right field. The runner Colby Rasmus had to hold up to make sure that wasn't caught, and Galvis comes up limping a little bit. So first and third with nobody out here in the sixth.
Yeah, that's pretty good hitting, but really great base running. That's what we talk about. Line drive that is hit. You know, you don't want to take a chance on being doubled up, and you still have a good situation. Runner is on first and third with nobody out. Always got to freeze on that line, the drive that is actually hit. You can see how that ball just gets by him a little bit. Looked as though he went right down on his knee where he didn't have really good balance. Might have just twisted it a little bit.
Well, now Thames, who's 2 for 2. Phillies will set up 4-2, leading it by 1 here in the top of the sixth. Fly ball left center field. That'll get the run home. Mayberry's there, makes the catch. And here comes Rasmus to tie the ball game at 1. Sacrifice fly for Thames. He continues his solid spring. We're all leaving at 1 apiece.
Pretty good job right there, getting the runner in from third base. So you're not necessarily even trying to get a hit. You're trying to keep that ball, if you can, deep in the outfield, in the middle of the field. Get yourself an RBI, and the game's tied up.
Now Ben Francisco, as Omot tries to get the roll a double play ball, and he throws the first pitch right on by Carlos Ruiz. It's 1 ball and no strikes, and up to second goes Arancibia.
And Carlos is just going to go out and try and settle them down just a little bit.
That's how big look how big he is.
Oh, he's huge. You know, that can be intimidating, seeing a guy that tall there on the mound.
Well, Almont did pitch a little bit last year for Ryan Sandberg, who you just saw there with Charlie Manuel.
Yeah, Randall said he did a great job there too. And again, it just shows you it is different from AAA ball to the major leagues. A lot has to do with confidence, but for the pitchers, a lot has to do with that location.
A little low, 2-0. It's sharply towards short, backhanded by Rollins, sets and throws just a little high. So a base hit for Francisco. Jimmy makes that play better than a lot of shortstops, and he just the throw just sailed a little bit on him.
Yeah, he went in, planted. Ryan Howard over there at first might have gotten him since he's a little bit taller. There's that plant. It's off a pretty good throw, and if it's down, he probably would have had Francisco. Either a good play or a base hit.
Well, now Jeff Mathis with 1 out, and he takes low. Runners go. Pitch is swung on and missed. Ruiz double pumps. And the base runners are safe. I don't know if he just couldn't get a grip. If Michael wasn't at the bag.
Could have been either one of those combinations, but they're taking advantage of him out the pitcher there. You see how long it takes him. Very deliberate.
Oh, the bat may have gotten in Ruiz's way.
Take a look at it again. Well, it looked like he adjusted his fingers there at the top, you know, on the ball a little bit. Nevertheless, though, it's a double steal.
So second and third. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. The infield is back for the out. And a breaking ball a little high.
Well, already just seeing him pitch, he slows down his arm on the breaking ball, slings the ball, that the sinker that he actually throws, and almost from the same spot. But when you're throwing that slider from that particular position, has a chance to hang right over the plate. Very hard to control that fastball because you're off balance.
Bocock is on deck.
Predictable count, 3-1 here. Hasn't been able to get a breaking ball over, so for a hitter, you don't even think about that. You're looking for one pitch and zone hitting, making sure that the ball is down. See exactly where. Wow, here's a guy looking for a walk. You want to be swinging. You want that RBI. You get those situations there, one out. You want that RBI there. So obviously he got the fastball that he wanted down in the zone.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Kind of went back to the same spot. It may have been a little tighter in the inner half of the plate.
Yeah, he did. He went back to the same spot. The only thing is, though, predictable. You know you're going to get a fastball. Good movement on it. Good spot that he had that pitch in. That's what he needs more of. But first pitch strikes will enable him to get hitters to swing at bad pitches.
So now runners on second and third, but 2 outs here in the 6th.
The box beer, motion beer, golden motion. Wait a minute. I can't take
Brian Bocock today is 0 for 2.
Let me get out of the way. Some man yelled because he missed a pitch. That's the way to frame it. Way to frame that pitch. It looks pretty good from back here. What do you want now? Water?
That's what happens when you're not around the plate. Umpires have a tendency not to give you balls that are on the corner.
And there's ball 3. That one was way off the outside part of the plate. .22 pitches this inning. Omot trying to get through the 6th. 13 balls, 9 strikes.
It's falling behind just about on every single hitter.
There's ball 4. That may be it for him. We'll see. Mike McCoy is going to be the batter. Carlos Ruiz goes out to the mound to talk again with Omot. Second walk of the inning. Bullpen action for the Phillies.
No, that's interesting too, though. Sometimes the pitching coach, Rich Doobie, will let the pitcher kind of figure it out every now and then afterwards they'll have a session and go over exactly on some of the mechanics. You see, he continues to write down different things on all of his pitchers. Some a little easier than others when he's going over different things, but you know, you got to be able to have reminders.
He's trying to get Mike McCoy with the bases loaded. And he delivers a pitch outside. It's 1-0. Brian Sanchez is warming up, as you saw, for the Phillies. McCoy, 9 games so far in the spring.
It was really close to a strike.
Sure was, yeah. I think it goes back to what you're saying, though. That ball's hit sharply on one hop. Martinez will take it to the third base bag. Omot gets out of the inning. He does allow the tying run to cross the plate, but he's able to leave the bases loaded. We've played 5.5. The Phillies and the Blue Jays now all locked up at 1. Phillies baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right, and by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Phillies scored a run in the first, and then the Blue Jays tied it up in the top of the sixth. We go to the bottom of the sixth, and we have new players all over the place for the Blue Jays. There's Kellen Sweeney, who will take over at third base. Brian Bocock moves from third base to shortstop. And the new second baseman is Mike McCoy. We saw him pinch hit. And over at first base is Yan Gomes, as Shane Victorino leads it off against Luis Perez. Victorino 1 for 2. Well, excuse me, 0 for 2. Struck out looking, grounded out to second.
Victorino's been hitting third just about most of the time. Looks like that's going to be his spot, at least until Utley gets back, or if he's healthy to start the season. It's one thing about Victorino. You can put him just about anywhere in the lineup. First to second, third, maybe not fourth, but we've seen him hit fifth, sixth.
I guess he could hit fourth if we needed him to. No?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's your typical power type hitter.
Saw a fly ball to left. Thames calls off Bocock. One away here in the bottom of the sixth. So Victorino's retired. Here's Hunter Pence. Sold out Bright House Field here in Clearwater, Florida. A lot of green this afternoon. Of course, St. Patrick's Day. It's become a tradition that the Phillies are home on St. Patrick's Day, along with Sarge. I'm Tom McCarthy. Hope you're enjoying your day. Hope you're safe tonight, or wherever it is you're celebrating. Hunter Pence, a swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
There's that swing of that fastball again, and that's what I'm talking about with Hunter. You don't mind him swinging at it. Just want him to get that ball down where he's actually pretending that the count might be 2 balls and no strikes.
Gomes makes a nice play, and Perez is there to cover. So 3-1 on the putout.
That's tie count, basic baseball right there, baby.
But obviously, you do not want to take away from him being aggressive. That's really what makes the player that Hunter Pence is, by being aggressive. Just needs to channel it just a little.
Were there points in your career where you were a different hitter? Like, were you more aggressive one year?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And you end up learning. I know, like I said earlier, being with the Phillies and learning that from Pete Rose and Mike Smith on base percentage on going on and taking your walks. You know, we always felt in the organization I was coming up with that there were times where you had to expand the zone, especially if there were runners that were in scoring position, if you were going to win.
Ty Wigginton's the hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Wigginton after that swing and a miss. He has a hit today, and he's also flied out to left.
I like him as a hitter.
Rick Vanden Hurk up and throwing in the pen for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays, we mentioned, have a split squad today. They didn't bring a lot of extra pitchers. We've already seen Morrow, Perez. Vanden Hurk is loosening up. Aaron Loop and Bobby Korecki are the other 2 pitchers that are in the bullpen today. 3-1 the count to Ty Wigginton. Luis Montañez will be getting ready to come in. There's Juan Pierre, quite possibly the same thing. Hector Luna just stood up. And ball 4 for Wigginton. He's aboard for the 2nd time in the game. And John Mayberry will get a chance to bat in this 1-1 ball game.
Left fielder John Mayberry Jr.
Well, Emmanuel's trying to get the guys at least 3 at bats, I would think, maybe more.
Yeah.
He's going over his lineup card with Pete McCannon, but we're probably going to get some wholesale changes in the very near future.
I would think so.
Mayberry takes a change up outside. Two and 0 the count to Mayberry.
This could be a running count, but obviously Ty is not a guy that you would want to steal a base.
He doesn't have a big lead at all. He anchored down.
Just saying that in situations when the pitcher's down, you got your right-hander up. He can steal a base. He's really ready to go, especially with those 2 outs. Some of the guys they have aren't going to be base stealers. I mean, when you look at the base stealers, looking at Victorino, probably J-Row, and after that, don't know really how many other of the athletes. Mayberry is a guy that can steal a base every now and then.
What about Hunter Pence?
Hunter Pence, but your true base stealer, I'm talking maybe those 2, Victorino and along with Jimmy Rollins. So you'd think that you would want them to run a little bit more because of the offense, and obviously not going to have the power that they've had in the past in driving that ball out of the ballpark.
3-1 the count to Mayberry with a runner at first. Mayberry rips it down the left field line. Foul. Oh boy. And it's 3-2. So Wiggins will be off and running on this pitch.
Well, you like that though, because if that ball's hitting the gap with Ty taking off, should be able to score. Left center, right center, maybe not right down the line. Chance to see how much speed he has.
Dominic Brown, if he's up at the club, he can swipe a bag or 2.
Yeah, he's been showing though with that bat that he's able to handle it.
Runner goes, pitch is cut out and foul tipped into the glove of Mathis, and the Phillies are retired. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. We've completed 6 now here on St. Patrick's Day in front of a sold-out crowd. The Phillies and Jays are tied.
I'm headed home. See you.
Good job by Vance Worley here this afternoon. He got some early trouble. First inning, he had a couple runners on, got out of a good breaking ball right there to Encarnacion. Then he had a leadoff double, worked around that. And then a double play or a final out of the inning on a force out. Good fastball there for a called third strike, and another really good breaking ball. So I think Vance kind of liked his stuff here this afternoon, but Greg Murphy had a chance to talk to him, and after we look at our game summary right here and see what Brandon Morrow did, he also pitched pretty well, and Jimmy Rollins with the leadoff home run. Murphy had a chance to talk to Vance Worley. What do you think about how he pitched today?
Wills is generally very happy with the way he pitched. Said he was, working on a couple things as the guys do down here in spring training. One of the things he is working on in particular is that split change, which is a new pitch to him that Roy Halladay taught him. He said he threw 2 of them during the game. One of them he thought was pretty good. One he bounced up there a little bit. But then he went back into the bullpen just to kind of get his pitch count up, and he threw 10 more in the bullpen just to kind of get a feel. He said it's a field pitch, and he wants to have it ready, when they come north. So he's continuing to work on that split change.
Yeah, thanks, Murph. We thought he had thrown a couple changes, but I didn't know if that was that split change. So great job checking on that for us.
Well, Kellen Sweeney leads it off here in the top of the 7th inning. The Phillies have some changes. Luis Montañez is in right field. Scott Podsednik comes on to play center field. And over in left field is Juan Pierre as Sweeney takes a strike. There's Juan doing a little high stepping. To the count, and a called strike 3. So Brian Sanchez picks up the strikeout to begin the top of the 7th. There's Sanchez's spring training numbers: 4 innings, 8 hits, 3 strikeouts. But the last couple of years with the Florida Marlins, and was a pretty strong guy out of their bullpen. Hector Luna comes on to play first base for the Phillies. Kevin Franzen is now at second base. Freddie Galvis moves from second over to shortstop. And here's Yan Gomes. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it back, 0-1. Gomes 4 for 9 in the spring for the Blue Jays.
Brian Sanchez, another interesting guy. We went over the bullpen before the game, but you can't say that he is on the club necessarily, but he certainly is one of those guys right on the fence because of his experience, his ability to get right or left-handed hitters out with a changeup. I would think every game he pitches is important.
The other thing he has is just he has experience, which
right.
helps too.
Right, he's a guy who's not scared out there. He's been out there so many times, and just knows how to pitch. He knows he's not going to overpower anybody, and he uses all his different pitches, especially that really good changeup.
1-2 the count. Popped up over towards second base. Kevin Franzen is there. They're 2 away. Well, the best way to lock in some of the hottest games is with a 3-game pack. New opening day 3-game pack, plus a summer weekend 3-game pack, which includes prime summer Saturday games. Then the Red Sox 3-game pack. Some restrictions do apply to these 3-game packs, but you can check out Phillies.com and take a look at some of those packs that the Phillies are offering. Two away for Colby Rasmus.
I think Papelbon will have an adrenaline rush when he faces the Red Sox.
I would think so.
Wow, that'll be fun to watch. He's such a competitor anyway, and let alone to have a little extra juice.
Red Sox will have a new closer this year, South Jersey native Andrew Bailey.
Yeah.
Mark Melanson will be the setup guy. 2-0 the count to Rasmus. On the outside corner, 2-1. Rasmus 0 for 2 today. He walked and scored back in the 6th. David Percy warming up in the pen. Another chance for the right side of the infield. It's going to be a tougher play for Franzen. He is way up there. But it turns out to be an easy inning for Brian Sanchez. 1-2-3 go the Blue Jays. Time to stretch here at Bright House Field. And the Phils looking for some runs. on St. Patrick's Day. Folks are dressed up in all kinds of garb. And it's been a very festive day here at the ballpark so far. It's a 1-1 game. Not a whole lot of offense. Each team, the teams are combined for 14 hits. Rick Vandenherk will take over for Luis Perez, who went 2 2/3. Vandenherk over from the Baltimore Orioles organization. 0-1 with a 10.8 earned run average this spring. And he will face Carlos Ruiz, Galvis, and then the pitcher's spot here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Probably Carlos's final at bat. Carlos today is 0 for 1. He hit into a 5-4-3 double play his last time up. He's off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, last week the Phillies and the Jays. Phillies won that one 7-0. Today it's a 1-1 game. Fanatic has found his way on top of the dugout with his green jersey.
Great looking jersey. Look at that. Very, very appropriate for this afternoon.
Fanatic was raring to go today.
Man of style. Or the what is that? Whatever it is.
A
style.
I
don't know what. That's a great point.
He's the Fanatic.
He's the Fanatic. Right? We really don't have to pigeonhole him.
He's the Fanatic, a fanatic of style.
He's a true 8x10. Well, I don't know about that.
I would say at least 11x14, 11x17.
Oh, all of that. He's getting into mid-season form today.
3-2 the count to Ruiz. Carlos cracks it over to third. Tough hop for Sweeney. Throws high and it goes over the head of Yan Gomes. Now Ruiz will stay at first.
It's going to have to be an error because, I mean, he made a heck of a play on that ball hit with a bad hop, but then he had plenty of time to throw Ruiz out and he threw high. Another run for Carlos. Here it is. That's a good play right there, but now he doesn't finish it as the air mails a throw. Now, Carlos had a heck of a chance to go to second, but then he runs into the first baseman there, and that's enough.
Yeah, and then it's the assessment of the umpire as to whether he was interfered with. So Ruiz is done. Tuffy ghost switches on to run at first.
That could be a play, during the season. You might argue it.
Right.
But not today.
And Freddie Galvis once up the first base line. Gomes lets it roll foul. It's kind of quiet here late in the ball game. But the Fanatic is making sure that it does not stay quiet here in the 7th.
Well, people, a long day. They come out here early.
Oh. It's going to be a long day and a long night.
And sit in the sun. Oh, yeah. Get those batteries recharged.
1 the count. And now Vandenherk and Jeff Mathis will chat. Wills, let me ask you a question. Who is the first Irish-born player in baseball history?
Born in Ireland.
Born in Ireland. I'll give you a hint.
Thought you meant of Irish descent.
No, born there. He was born in County Cavan.
Well, that really helps. What year did he play?
There you go. Andy Leonard.
Oh, I knew that.
1876 was his first game.
That was close. I was thinking it was Andy. I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't Dutch, and I knew it wasn't Jeff. I thought it was Andy.
Yeah.
Thanks. Got the trivia question here today in the ballpark. You hear it?
The Grand Slam. I thought you didn't get it.
I got it.
I was told by Don Guckian, the public address announcer here, that the quote-unquote expert did not have it.
I told him what it was, but he locked on it.
He lays down a beautiful sacrifice. Up to second goes Tuffy Ghost.
That was a good one. Only home run Grand Slam Pete Rose ever hit. Who'd he hit it off? Big D?
Alice Green.
Yeah.
All right, well, who is the last Irish player, Irish-born player, to play in the major leagues?
Coming up with this stuff.
Played for the Washington Senators back in 1945.
It's the year I was born. I don't know that.
You should have researched every bit of baseball trivia the year you were born. Here's Juan Pierre. And Pierre takes outside.
I know their major leagues were struggling at that time because a lot of brave guys were in the war, still in the Army.
The big JC, Joe Cleary. 1 inning, or 1/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 7 earned runs, and that's all she wrote.
Boy, he got hit. Yeah, but you can always say he was in the big leagues.
That's right. 2-0 the count to Pierre. Mentioned before that the first time that Major League team wore, I guess officially, the green uniforms on St. Patrick's Day. The Reds did it back in '78. But we talked about that article that Larry Shank found in the Philadelphia Inquirer that said that the Phillies did it back in the 1800s.
That was good stuff, especially the language, the way they wrote back then.
The game, by the way, somebody asked me where the game was played, where the spring training home of the Phillies was at the time. I don't know if it was there, but it was played in Charlotte, North Carolina. Three balls, no strikes, the count to Pierre.
Tough to score a run right now, even if Pierre gets a base hit to the outfield. You know how shallow you used to play him.
Yeah, Thames is shallow and left. Rasmus is shaded over toward left center and he's shallow. Francisco's the deepest of the three.
And always played a deep outfield.
He's really deep right now.
Really deep for Pierre, right? I mean, that is a pull side, but that's pretty deep.
Inside ball 4. First and second now for the Phillies. And Kevin Franzen is due up.
Second baseman Kevin Franzen.
So Franzen early on in spring training getting some ABs. So far 192 with a home run and 6 runs batted in. Lately he's been playing late in the game. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
Good aggressive swing there with a runner in scoring position, getting late into the game, trying to take the lead. Unfortunately, it looked like he got a slider when he was looking for a first ball fastball.
It's kind of surprising too, just because Vandenhurst was struggling so much. Fouls it away. It's 0-2. There's the fastball.
Nice play.
A couple of them today behind the plate.
Yeah, well, they say he's a good catcher. That had a wild pitch written all over, but that's called a breaking ball. You know, and catcher always has to anticipate a breaking ball in the dirt, and watch, he does. Really a nice play.
Now 1-2 the count to Franzen.
Another one.
2-2.
That's a really good play. That one was even tougher. You know, the idea when you're ahead in the count for a pitcher is to throw a non-strike and hope the hitter will chase and trust your catcher that he can save you. But man, that's above and beyond the call of duty. What he's doing with those breaking balls.
Franzen taps it back toward the mound. Vandenhurst goes to second for 1, and that's all they'll get. I was surprised it was that close at first, but 1-6 on the putout at second. And over to third goes Tuffy Goswitch. Franzen's aboard. And Michael Martinez with 2 outs will get a chance here.
Yeah, this is really quick. I'm surprised they would even go to second on that play. No legs used in that on that pivot. That was all arm. That's why he got it there so quick.
So Martinez, who did single back in the third, he came on and took over for Placido Polanco. Polanco injured his finger, his ring finger on his left hand, diving back to first base earlier in the game. And Martinez swings over top of that one. It's 0-1. Phillies trying to break this 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the seventh. Fly ball, shallow left center field. Thames is over. He's there. And the Phillies will leave a couple here in the bottom of the seventh. Well, it's not only St. Patrick's Day here at the ballpark, but also we've had a chance to see the Fanatic work his magic, go all throughout the ballpark. We'll see him again when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com. And by Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. 1-1 game as we go to the top of the eighth. Hear the Irish music in the background with the Philly Fanatic doing some dancing on top of the dugout. There are those Jonathan Papelbon IDEW Local 98 t-shirts that we talked about. Plus the Father's Day cap that will be given out on Sunday, June 3rd. It's sponsored by Chevrolet. It's Chevrolet Father's Appreciation Day on the 3rd. All fans 15 and over will get one of those mesh old-time Phillies caps. The old Philly P, Wills.
What are they trying to do? What's that show called? River Dance?
I think that is some semblance of River Dance right there. Tuffy Go Switch is the new catcher for the Phils. He came on a pinch run for Carlos Ruiz.
Second old party at our house. Family used to get together when I was a kid with all my Irish uncles.
All over from Ireland?
No, they weren't first generation, but they had fun.
Well, David Percy's the new pitcher for the Phillies, and J.P. Arancibia leads it off.
I believe my mother's father did come from Ireland. His name was Hugh Joseph Ferry. Very, very Irish.
Hugh, H-U-G-H.
H-U-G-H, Joseph Ferry. F-E-R-R-Y.
2-0 the count to Arancibia. He's 1 for 3. Arancibia's gone the whole way as the DH this afternoon. He ripped that one. Wow. Against his old battery mate, hits that one right into Frenchie's tiki bar. Not into the first 4 levels of it, actually into the bar. And it's a 2-1 game.
What happens when you face a guy you caught?
Yep.
That happens so many times. I keep talking about Tug today. You used to wear him out. Jerry Grody. Because he just was in his head all the time. So when Tug came over from the Mets and he would face Grody, he struggled with him.
It's Todd Pratt against Al Leiter.
Yeah, there you go. Bam. That's a long one. As you said, that one's into the celebration.
Percy last year pitched for the Blue Jays, the A's, the Tigers, but was originally the property of the Jays. So Aaron Sebia not only caught him in the big leagues, but probably caught him in a bunch of spring training games too. Eric Thames is now the hitter. Thames lifts it foul over our heads and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Guy's having a heck of a spring. And he's pretty much nailed down left field for the Jays.
Played really well in that series when we were up there in Toronto last year. He was a good looking player. Remember he hit a real long home run to right field.
There were a couple of long home runs that series.
Yeah. Well, Bautista's not here today, and he hit a monster last year.
Pierre takes care of Thames. Here's Ben Francisco.
Right fielder Ben Francisco.
Jersey's looking a little large on Juan, isn't it?
This stuff always looks large on him. Hats, helmets.
And Francisco is 1 for 3.
He's a regular sized guy in plus size stuff.
The line drive toward left, and the plus size stuff will catch that liner. 2 outs. Well, this is not going to be a 1-2-3 inning, but a reminder: Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities every time the Phillies retire the opposing team in order. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Jeff Mathis, the catcher, is up. Now, he did not catch David Percy in years past. Takes upstairs. Mathis is hitless in 3 at bats. Couple strikeouts. He also flied to right. Ground ball toward the hole, cut off by Martinez, and Percy, despite allowing the home run to start the inning, gets the next 3 batters, but the Blue Jays take the lead on a long home run by J.P. Arencibia. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Bright House Field. The Phillies need to play catch up. Sunday night on Comcast Sportsnet, Leslie Goodell sits down with Cole Hamels as he talks about his contract status. Don't miss Phillies Focus, presented by Schuylkill Valley Sports. Sunday at 10:30 only on Comcast Sportsnet. Well, the Osprey are winding down their day. Phillies are hoping their offense will get something rolling here, down 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. New right fielder is Jake Marisnick for the Toronto Blue Jays. And Pasednik just barely got out of the way of that one. Carlos Perez, the new catcher, could not come up with it. Wheels, would it surprise you if I told you that today is the 6th largest crowd in Bright House Field history?
Well, you figured it was going to be a big one, so no. The demand for this game was tremendous.
10,728. Some folks out on the berm.
Oh, what a perfect day to be out here.
Probably about 5,000 over at Frenchie's Tiki Bar.
Oh, yeah.
3-1 the count to Pasednik.
It stays open after the game and certainly will be.
I think it's 2
wide
hours
open
after the game, I believe.
Yeah, 2 hours. We'll see. They could have to leave it open a little longer today. Look out.
Look out, Wheels. 3-1 the count as Pasednik shoots one just above our heads. Everybody in the Delaware Valley ducked, Wheels, when you said look out. The folks in Conshohocken are falling off their couch. Ball 4.
Conshohocken. It's just how nice it is. When you saw those Osprey up in their condos, boy, do they have a life down here.
They're probably up there saying, speak for yourself.
They're saying, anybody got a fish down there? The heck with those peanuts. We'll leave them for the gulls.
Here's Luis Montañez up for the first time. And Lou shows bunt and takes it outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Hector Luna waits on deck. A couple of the other items that we didn't get a chance to talk about today that you can go to Phillies.com to check out as the season moves on. We saw the opening night represent T-shirts that will be given out to fans 15 and over on Wednesday, the 11th of April. How about the WB Mason delivery truck? Wheels, it's a flat-out 18-wheeler.
Wow.
With Phillies logo on it, the WB Mason logo.
Delivery of the game.
Yep. Kids 14 and under will receive that. That's Sunday, May 20th. Want to know the count to Montañez.
Scott Brandreth is down here.
He is with the
helping out with this. He does so much with merchandising.
There we go. There's that represent T-shirt that'll be given out on opening night. Jimmy Rollins has been working out in that one on the backfield. Runner goes. Pitch is taken low. The throw to second is also low. And Pasednik is safe. Well, that is a dimension he brings.
Yeah, he can do that. Hopefully his hands are all right.
He's got that brace on his hand because he's injured it so often. See, he's got that cover on that left hand.
Sometimes with his head first slides. Sometimes. It's a good pitch to run on. Catcher has to go down and get it, and then it's tough to make a strong throw. Good play at second base though on that short hop.
301 career stolen bases for Pasednik. As he told us the other day, he's healthy and he feels good. Montañez hits it back toward the middle. Pocock is there. Pasednik's to third. The throw is wide, but it's handled by Gomes.
That thing hit the mound or it's going to go through for a hit. Really slowed it up.
Well, he got the runner over to third, the tying run to third.
Yeah, good job moving the runner, hitting to the left of the base runner. A good base runner like Pasednik. See, watch this thing hit the mound right there, and that, see it kick it up, and that really slowed the ball up, or it would have been into center field for a hit.
Pasednik's at third. Infield is in here in the bottom of the 8th. Hector Luna is the batter.
These guys are serious. Bringing the infield in the 8th inning. Exhibition game. Got to practice it.
They also don't have a whole lot of pitchers left in the bullpen. They have a split squad against the Braves today, and they only have a couple pitchers left. One of whom is warming up right now. Ground ball toward third, fair ball. The tying run scores. Luna's going to get to second, and the go-ahead run is in scoring position.
Done a good job this spring.
Sure has.
And that's one of those balls, you know, he didn't hit it real hard, but he didn't have to because where the third baseman is, we mentioned they're in. I don't know if you're back, if you're all the way back, if you might not catch that ball too. But as it is, it deflects off and should be a double and an RBI.
So now Pete Orr will bat with Luna at second. It's a 2-2 game here in the bottom of the 8th. Pete Orr had a triple in yesterday's game against the Pirates down the right field line. And it takes on the outside corner. It's 0-1. So Scott Pacenda getting aboard to start the inning. Then the stolen base is able to tie this ball game up.
Good base running, getting to third, making them bring the infield in. And even though that ball was hit, you know, towards the line, I don't think it was hit that hard. That's my point about a third baseman all the way back there has a chance to catch that ball or certainly keep it in the infield.
The count to Orr. 3-1. Tuffy go switch on deck. Good count for Pete Orr here. There's Tuffy. All four. So the Phillies have 2 on. John Farrell's going out to the mound. That's going to wind up being it for Vandenherk. He's already signaled to the pen. So we've got a pitching change here in the bottom of the 8th. It's a 2-2 ball game. Phillies just tied it up on a base hit, a double by Hector Luna. So the go-ahead run is in scoring position. Rick Vandenherk is complete. We'll be back right after this. Pitching change here at Bright House Field. The Phillies and the Blue Jays tied at 2. Jerry Gill will take over. Gill will come on for Rick Vandenherk, and he'll face Tuffy Go-Switch. See Gill's numbers this spring. This is his 5th ball game. 0-1 with a 4.50 earned run average. Just so you know, when I said that Blue Jays only had 2 pitchers left, well, Gill wasn't on the roster, so now they have 2 pitchers left.
I'm going to send a car over to Dunedin for him.
It is the closest spring training site to this one.
That's nice.
In fact, it might even be closer to Clearwater Beach than this one.
It's close.
Tubby Go switch the hitter. Runners on first and second. He takes up high, 1-0.
Take alternate 19 along the bay. It's a pretty ride over to Dunedin too. You were over there last night. Right?
I was. Main Street, Dunedin.
Nice little town.
1-0 the count. Down the right field line. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Driven some balls to right center this spring.
Getting stronger and stronger as a hitter.
And they're playing them way over to left center and shallow. Playing him to pull. This guy throws pretty hard too. First pitch he fouled off the other way, and they're still staying in that. See that pull defense with a huge gap in right center field. Trap pitch, 2-1 breaking ball. Now you're really in a fastball count.
Hit hard, diving stop. There's 1 and there's 2. That's a heck of a play by Sweeney to start and then help turn the double play. So the Phillies tie it up on the RBI double by Hector Luna, but that's all that they're able to get. We go to the 9th, evened up at 2. Now, the Phillies home opener on April 9th might be sold out, but that doesn't mean you'll miss out on opening week. Tickets are available for games during the opening homestand. Get a chance to see the new look Miami Marlins. Go to Phillies.com for ticket information and to purchase your tickets. Now we're going to the 9th. We've had this a lot this spring. Tied up at 2. Phillies yesterday were down 3-0 to the Pirates, made a run, wound up losing it 3-2. Michael Stutz will take over for David Percy, who allowed a run on a home run in the 8th. And Stutz, 3.60 earned run average. He's 5 strikeouts in 5 innings of work. He's pitched very well this spring so far. And he'll face Brian Bocock to begin things here in the top of the 9th. Haven't seen that meeting behind home plate yet between Rich Doobie and John Farrell, or whoever it is that they designate to walk over and confer with Rich about whether they play one more inning or not. Bocock 0 for 2. He fouls the first pitch back. Brian Bocock made it to the major leagues with the San Francisco Giants. Spent the last couple of years in the Phillies organization. One ball and one strike the count to Brian Bocock. A little high, 2-1. This is major league experience, now 27 years old. Fly ball deep left center field. Pierre on the run, and that one is gone. Brian Bocock has just broke this 2-all tie with a solo home run here in the top of the 9th inning. I wasn't sure if it was going to have enough to get out. It sounded like and looked like it did off the bat.
Yeah, it's getting a little help to left and left center. If you hit it, you hit it well. This dude's got behind in the count, supposed to be away. Look where it was. Tailed right down the middle, and he hit it hard. Just a mistaken location, and Brian Bocock made him pay for it.
Well, here's Mike McCoy up for the second time. He fouls it away. Pretty good catch out there by the gentleman who made the grab. He sized it up beautifully, called everybody else off on the berm, and put it away. Ooh. 1-1 in the count. Talked about the Braves struggling in spring training. Folks are saying that's not that big of a deal. How about the way these guys are playing? Is it a big deal that they're off to such a good start in spring training?
Yeah, it's so hard to say one way or the other.
Fly ball to right. Montañez makes the catch for the first inning.
And you're trying to develop fan interest, and you know, one of the worst things that can happen to you is you have a horrible won and lost spring. You know, if you have a good one, you know, maybe able to get a few more fans interested in coming to see the Blue Jays play. They have a nice team. They're just in a tough division. I think they're in a little bit of an upswing right now, though, as an organization. They could get good.
Particularly if some of their young players step up, like Laurie. I mean, he's leading a lot of different categories in the Grapefruit League offensively, as Kellen Sweeney takes a strike.
They got some decent pitching. They brought Santos over, right-hander, evidently can really fire. A lot of strikeouts from the White Sox to be their closer.
Line drive, base hit for Sweeney. Just a flick of the wrist, and he's aboard. I mentioned before they have Cordero, who will set up for Santos. Well, the Blue Jays have their old logo back, and they have some new players. Darren Oliver. We haven't seen Darren Oliver so far this spring.
And there's the guy we were just talking about, Sergio Santos, and of course Ben Francisco, who we've seen today. Francisco Cordero with Cincinnati a lot of years as their closer, but he's going to be more of a setup guy.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised when he took that role.
Yeah.
Because there were teams out there that, you know, could have used a closer. He just was lingering for so long. Here's Yan Gomes, who popped out his first time up. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Each of the Blue Jays have their old logo back, their old colors, those numbers that were very distinct back when they began, and back in even '93 when they won the World Series.
Yeah.
Here's the logo. They used a semblance of that logo the last few years, but I don't know, kind of new wave.
You're good with uniforms. I don't remember.
I like the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
Blue
I don't
Jays
remember
old
when they wore
uniforms.
one thing or the other. But they are making they are pointing out that they're changing their uniforms back to more traditional than where they started out.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Foul ball, 1-2. It is funny though how you can come full circle in the game. The Orioles back to their old uniforms with the smiling bird. You have the Blue Jays here.
Some teams like the Dodgers and the Cubs, I don't know,
Never
they've changed.
Yeah.
Have
Cubs have changed over the years, but nothing has changed in a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe their road uniforms a little bit. When Ryan Sandberg played, they wore the blue tops all the time.
Got him. Oh, look at he had him. Thought that was a balk. Sweeney, the base runner, he's really taken by no get back. When he looks up the umpire, like, man.
Michael Stutz has quick feet.
He has quick feet, and a lot of times, you'll see him do that, and they don't think that he spins right. He doesn't show any daylight, and maybe it's a balk.
I think Sweeney just said something again.
Yeah.
Ball's hit well down the left field line. Hooking. Is that fair foul? It's just foul. I thought it was foul, but the way Pierre was going after it, I thought, well, maybe it just hit the line.
Looked like it hit right off the top of the wall, too, just to the left of the foul pole. Ooh.
There you go, right under the number.
Really close.
That old Jimmy Rollins inside the park home run against the Padres. Where it hit the pole and just kept on coming back toward the infield.
Running right back down the line towards the infield. That was in the new ballpark too at Petco.
Trying to check his swing. He went. First base is occupied, so he can't advance. But the runner can advance and does up to second. So it'll be a wild pitch, but a strikeout for the second out.
It's a good breaking ball that Stutz has been throwing this spring. That was a nasty one there. See Tuffy Ghostwitch anticipating it, but he backhanded it, which of course you don't want to do. And that was one of the reasons, it had so much spin when it jumped up and hit his chest protector that it glanced away from it.
Hey, last call. Ice cold beer here.
So now Colby Rasmus with the runner in scoring position. 3-2. Blue Jays on top. They've gotten a home run in each of the last 2 innings. Rasmus pulls that to the right side. Luna's there. So is Stutz. So the Phillies will have to come from behind in their half of the 9th inning, down by 1, thanks to the home run by Brian Bocock. So Stutz's afternoon is complete. Phillies offense hope they can continue it on.
delivery of the game. It's been a pretty decent game here this afternoon. Some offense, some decent pitching. Here's the difference in the game right now. See, Michael Stutz ran a fastball over the middle of the plate onto the berm, and Brian Babcock, former Philly, has given the Toronto Blue Jays the lead. Brian Babcock, or Bocock, I mean. Babcock, is he a hockey player?
Yes, he is.
I knew that. No, I didn't.
Here's Freddie Galvis, who will lead it off here at the bottom of the ninth. It's a 3-2 game. Galvis is 0 for 2 today with a sac bunt. Slaps it the other way, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be Galvis, Juan Pierre, the first 2 hitters for the Phils against Jerry Gill. Outside, 2-1. Phillies would love to just get the potential tying run aboard because they've got some speed and they've got some guys that can move guys around a little bit.
Yeah, you may even just bunt for it. You may even bunt for a tie in a game like this because it doesn't mean anything.
2-2 the count. That foul ball came right above our heads.
Yeah.
Took a hop off the screen right in the lap of the gentleman. He was nice enough to toss it to the youngster. Jeff Halleck, our producer, just reminded us that Mike Babcock is the current head coach of the Detroit Red Wings, which I don't think you knew that.
I didn't know that. And he also didn't homer.
Freddie Galvis might have. Wow, towering shot deep to right field. Look out. Freddie Galvis has just tied this ball game up at 3 apiece.
Whoa.
How about that?
I think he's a low ball hitter.
I guess so.
Left-handed, like most left-handed hitters are. Boy, he go down and get that thing. We have never seen him hit a ball like that. That thing jumped, and you know what wind there is today is helping the ball the other way, not there. Charlie's getting a kick out of that. Well, I used to hit him, son.
He basically just golfed that one out of the yard.
Yeah, it was, you know, left-handed hitters love the ball down. Watch him go down and get this thing. Look, bam, right off the sweet spot. Look where that thing is, down, and he barreled it. That thing went a long way.
So all even at 3, and Juan Pierre is the hitter. Phillies do have bullpen action just in case we go to the 10th. Raul Valdez is warming up in the pen.
And we're thinking about Galvis maybe getting on base and Pierre bunting him over.
Yeah. Hit that ball well.
It's a 380-foot home run.
And all smiles, all camp.
Well, he should. He's got, you know, it's fun to play the game when you have those kind of tools.
4-3 on the put out. Pierre is retired. And here comes Kevin Franzen. Who knows where Freddie will wind up being.
He is a nice young man and has a lot of ability. Very young.
Freddie Galvis. He's 22 years old.
He did a nice job last year when he was winner of the Paul Owens Award and came up in the booth with us and sat there for an inning. He was really good to talk with that night.
That was the first time we asked him the proper pronunciation of his name.
Say your name for him.
Yeah. No balls and 2 strikes. We've just been notified that there will be a 10th inning if the Phillies do not score the go-ahead run here, the winning run. They've tied it up on Freddie's home run.
Kind of figured that when Valdez got up.
Franzen fouls it away. Ooh. That ball just never broke into the inner half of the plate.
I hit his hand, maybe.
I think it might have too. It sounded like it hit some bone.
Yeah.
And he'll continue on. John Fakasny, one of the Phillies athletic trainers, came to the top step of the dugout, but Franzen then wandered up to first base. There's Sean. He joined Scott Sheridan this year as one of the Phillies athletic trainers.
Here it is. Oh, that was an elbow shot. I wonder if he can feel his fingers right now.
Well, with one out, here's Martinez, who takes low, 1-0. Michael 1 for 3.
Big hole on the right side for Martinez, with the right fielder playing fairly deep.
And a guy that can run pretty good, too, from first to third.
Look at that hole on the right side as they're pinching up the middle for double play.
And that could be a double play. Bocock got a nice room service hop. So we'll go to the 10th inning. Here at Bright House Field, it's happened often. Freddie Galvis came up with a solo home run. That doesn't happen often, but we played some extra inning games this spring, and we got another one here on St. Patrick's Day. Another extra inning ball game here at Bright House Field. It's a 3-3 game as we go to the top of the 10th inning. We'll be back on the air this Monday when the Phillies will be back home at Bright House Field to take on the Detroit Tigers. Then Friday the 23rd against the Yankees. Sunday the 25th against the Baltimore Orioles. And then the final week of spring training will be on the Comcast Network on Monday, March 26th and Tuesday, March 27th. Phillies already have 2 ties this spring. So we've had some free baseball before, and we've got it yet again as we go to the top of the 10th. Raul Valdez is the new pitcher for the Phillies. And Valdez will face J.P. Arancibia to start it off. You know, there are guys during spring training that are under the radar that all of a sudden as the camp moves on, they start to emerge a little bit more. Raul Valdez has been a little under the radar. He hasn't pitched badly at all.
And he throws the ball from the left side, and you know, most teams have room for left-handers out of the bullpen.
Arancibia hit a long home run, his 3rd of the spring, his last time up, and he takes strike 1. Phillies also have another lefty warming up in the pen. Change up outside, 1-1. And Worley started. He went the first 4, struck out 3, allowed 4 hits. Then Jonathan Papelbon, Philippe Almont, Brian Sanchez, David Percy, and Michael Stutz in the 9th. And now here in the 10th, it's Valdez. Swing and a miss. He got him. Well, he was swinging for something and got something totally different. First out here in the 10th. And here comes Eric Thames.
He used everything too. As you mentioned, Tom, he threw a changeup and then he threw a breaking ball, and then he comes back with another breaking ball there. Well, he saw what that guy did with a fastball last time.
Oh.
So he wasn't going to get too many of them.
Thames 2 for 3 today. Fly ball, shallow center. Pasednik is there for the second out.
Nice job by an experienced player. Get that glove up there, take it to the side, get that glove up there, and try and keep the ball in some kind of sight line for you, as opposed to trying to run to a spot and then look up, and then you're really in trouble.
Well, there's a battle going on right now between Pasednik and we think Juan Pierre. Is that right? Wouldn't you think so?
Yes.
For one of the final spots?
It sure sounds like it.
I mean, and both have done fairly well. Pasednik, I mean, he looks healthy, and all the tools that we saw and were annoying at times for the Phillies, he's provided this spring.
Yeah. Definitely been a plus. They both have. There's Juan, 2 veteran guys really know how to play the game and can help teach the game to their teammates, especially the younger guys.
Marisnik takes a strike. It's 1-1. Up for the first time today. Bobby Korecki is in the pen for the Blue Jays. Ooh, check swing on a breaking ball. That's going to be a fair ball, and Valdez off the mound quickly. And we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Valdez makes sure that we go to the bottom of the inning, tied up at 3. So the Phillies have a chance to win it in their final at bat here at Bright House Field in a 3-3 game. We got some changes for the Blue Jays as we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Mike McCoy shifts from second base to center field for Toronto, and John Birdie is the new second baseman for the Blue Jays. Both those guys will play behind Bobby Korecki, who's on to pitch the bottom of the 10th inning. Face Scott Pasednik. To start things off, Phillies 3, the Blue Jays 3. Korecki's numbers last year between AA and AAA, 4 and 3, a 2.04 earned run average. Used to play for the Phillies. Well, here's Pasednik and then Martinez. 3 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Blue Jays. 3-8-0 for the Phillies. And Pasetnik takes high. Pasetnik walked and scored his last time up. Stole a base back in the 8th inning. That one toward right center field. Long run from McCoy. He's not going to get there. It's a one hop off the wall. Pasetnik will get to second. He'll stop there. There's some ballparks where he was flying over to third.
Yeah. San Francisco. That's a triples alley. That's that area where he hit that.
More importantly, though, he's in scoring position with less than 2 outs.
He nails this thing. They were playing him to left center. We showed that earlier when he was hitting, and no problem getting that out there for an extra base hit. We try and get him over, get him in, and start the second phase of St. Patrick's Day.
That's right. Montañez grounded out to short his first time up. 0 for 1. Corners pinch hit. He squares and takes a breaking ball inside. I think Korecki thought that had dropped in on the inside part of the plate.
I decided to have him try and bunt here as opposed to hit it to the right side. See, they just have a bunt defense there with the first baseman, third baseman ready to charge.
And the throw to second behind Pasetnik nearly got away from Bocock. That was not an easy play.
How he caught that. I think Korecki took a little off it when he saw. Yeah, he did. He saw that he was in trouble, and that's why he threw it across his body that way, because he took something off the throw. It wasn't going that fast, and that's why he could catch it.
Yeah.
Threw him a changeup.
Montañez bunts it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Emmanuel's trying to get his team to execute spots like this, manufacture a run and win the ball game. And a bunt toward third. Now that'll get the runner over to third, and Montañez, when we look back at the last moment, he probably had a chance to beat that, but he got the job done.
Yeah, Korecki knew that he had the play in front of him, and he wanted to see if maybe he had a shot at third. And he bunts this hard, but he bunts it, makes a pitcher come and get it. Third baseman then can retreat, but it's not a force play. This is a force play. You can go over there and make it. It's not. It's a tag play, so all hands would have been safe if he threw it.
All right, fly ball should be able to score Pasetnik, although the outfielders are in.
This ball will be pulled.
The infield is in as well. Ryan Schneider's coming to the on-deck circle to pitch hit.
I don't know if we've seen Hector Luna hit a ball to the right of second base yet.
Base hit to center field, and the Phillies going to win the ball game here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Hector Luna helped the Phillies offense in the 8th inning with an RBI double, and now he wins it here in the bottom of the 10th inning as the Phillies walk away with a 4-3 victory. Oh, the infield drawn in, it made it even easier for Charlie Manuel's team to pull out the victory. And that's exactly what they did. They finished with 10 base hits overall, and they improved their record to 7-8-2 on the spring.
You mentioned Pasetnik's doing a really good job. He does again in this inning. Hector Luna, man, will not hit a ball to the right, and if he's ahead in the count, it will be pulled. And he gets the job done again, as you said, Tom. He knocked, knocked in 2 runs.
Yeah, he tied the game in the 8th inning for the Phillies with an RBI double, and then wins it here in the 10th inning. The final score of 4-3. Freddie Galvis tied this baby up in the 9th with a long home run to right. He's down on the field with Murph. Murph, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. Yeah, first home run of the spring. We were talking about getting a rally going in that inning with a little small ball, but you took care of it with hitting the home run.
Yeah, you was thinking, be on base, after he gave me 3-2, I was, make a good contact, and be on base, and, I get a homer.
Took the low ball inside and took it out of the park. We've seen you very comfortable, obviously, at shortstop, but playing a lot of second base here in the spring as well. And you seem really comfortable there. How's it going for you at second base?
Yeah, playing right now second base is a new position for me. I'm big practice like every day. Try to get better. Like every day, hitting my coach. They told me a lot of stuff. So practice hard. Every day.
You got the fans chanting for you right now as they enjoy your work. Settle it for us once and for all, because it's been a debate this spring. Pronounce your last name for the folks at home, because everybody wants to know, is it Galvis? Is it Galvis? How are you pronouncing it?
It's Galvis.
Galvis. I got it right? Yeah. Galvis. Well, there we have it. Freddie, good game. And continued success for you. Upstairs, guys.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. And Freddie Galvis picks up the home run to help the Phillies to the victory. They win it by a final score of 4-3. Some autographs to finish up the afternoon for the Phils and their fans. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.